good. We're good. We should be good. Hopefully. All right. Yeah, I think we're good. I think we might be good. I think we might be good. Might be good. Audio good. All right. Sweet, 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 sweet. Yeah. My mixer shit the bed, I guess. I suppose. Sorry for the interruption. I do apologize. Feels bad. Yeah. Things happen. It's whatever. You know, don't crack a, what's the word I'm looking for? You don't get an omelet without breaking a few eggs, right? Okay, here. Let me just get my Discord notified real quick. Zeev, what's up? I'm back. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? I really got to find another cord too for my blue in case this happens again. Say for my blue. Woo! We're back. Let's go. We're back. We are so back. Yeah, let's get these likes up. Why not? Let's do it. Let's get some likes, man. 380 subs. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's go. J80 J898520. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. Okay, we're live here. We're so live. We are so back, man. The alarm you and the other person woke me up today. I was scared at first. Hell yeah, let's go. Hey, what's up, Dina? How you doing? Yeah, sorry for the mic issue. My mixer just shit the bed, I guess. I don't know. I probably got to use another I got to replace my XLR cable soon. I got another one, I just got to swap it out. There's nothing wrong with this one, but I feel like, you know, using the same cord for 3 years is probably not the best idea. God restored the stream. Hell yeah. God giveth and God taketh away and all that good stuff. Tired, but you're staying for drama. Hell yeah. Mixer bad. Bring your drink your grog straight then. Right. I wish I had some grog right now, dude, but no, I got some. I'm not drinking the grog. I'm smoking the basil. My birthday is tomorrow. Yeah, my birthday's tomorrow, right? My birthday. I turn the ripe old age of 29 years old. We are so up. Hell yeah. Making it. We're making it. Political party. I'm a Democrat, dude. Liberal, Democrat, blue, whatever you want to call it. I'd say I'm there. That's where I'm up. Mine too? Let's go. Let's go. Good job with how you communicated with the Christians. Your approach is good. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I try my best. I try my best. I fail a lot, but I try my best. You want to hear me? I'm here. Yeah, I'm especially with this administration, I'm proud to say I voted blue. But yeah, welcome back. Welcome back. Good to see y'all. After all this debate, what's your take on this for today? We still have a lot of rape apologists for some odd reason. Yeah, we can wish each other a happy birthday. Hell yeah. Would you mind me praying for you? No, you can pray for me if you want to. It's fine. I don't mind it. Issue Torah, Bible, Quran based on belief in an invisible, formless God to diverse interpretations of God's nature and manifestation, relationship with God and God's creation lead to conflict and bloodshed. That's definitely the Chat GPT response for it, for sure. Come ti fa stare la morte del Papa? What's that mean? Do I translate this here? I don't know why they got rid of the translate feature. Oh wait, no, see translation. There we go. Oh, how does the death of the Pope make me feel? I can't speak Spanish, but um, I don't. It's hate to see it. I don't know. 88 years old, good life, but yeah, that's about it, really. I don't have any positive or negative feelings about it. I probably would have died too if I had to meet JD Vance. Yo, he's speaking Spanish. Nah, I can't really speak Spanish, honestly. I can like recognize some words here and there, but not for the most part, no. I've never been more proud of being a Democrat than since 2016. Yeah. Yeah, I don't blame you. Even 2016, like, if you were on the right in 2016, it's like, fuck off, but I could, it's like, it's not the worst thing ever. This one's just unbearable. What made you change? I left Christianity after about a year and a half of deconstruction, which is just critically thinking about why you believe what you believe and interrogating your faith, taking it apart layer by layer, piece by piece. Checking to see if you find any veracity in the claims of the faith. Ultimately, for me, after about a year of that process, I just came to the conclusion that I don't believe in anything supernatural or divine. But you're not in your 30s. I turned 30 in 366 days. 366 days I turned 30. That wasn't Spanish? Yeah, probably. If Christian is real, God is weaker than the devil. The devil's been undefeated for thousands of years. Now there's a team. No, there's teams. Some go to hell and some goes to heaven. It's a business. Yeah, and even in John, I think it's chapter 14. I think it is. Jesus says that Satan is the ruler of this world. There's a few verses that say that Satan or the devil's the ruler of this world, but I'm like, why are we doing that? If I'm God and I'm I'm all powerful, just get him out of here. Bro's reaching the unk status. Yeah, I'm proud of it though. I'll be honest with you, dude. One of my best friends, online friends, killed herself at 35. So the further up I make it, the more proud I am of it. I'm not one of those people that have an issue with aging at all. I'm proud to age. I'm honored to age. Take as much faith to be an atheist as a Christian? No. One of us don't believe in talking animals. The other one does. He was sent down with the angels for forbidding okay, whatever. What do you think of Satanism? Positive, positive. At least when we're talking about like I don't know if this is like Church of Satan, like Temple of Satan, or whatever it is. Like, there's a lot of Satanists infighting for sure, but whoever believes in the 7 tenets, those are good tenets. I like those tenets. Why did he do that? What? I speak openly, man. That's what she did. That's what she did. She was 35. She said, "Nah, fuck this." I'm like, "Damn, miss you." Church of Satan does some good work protesting against injustice. Yeah, love what they do. 28? Yeah, I'm 28 for one more day. For uh 20 more hours, 19 more hours, and 39 more minutes, somewhere in there. Also, find it weird that Christians downplay the experiences atheists and general non-believers have had with the church. It just tells me they don't actually care and they're totally fine with you going back to abusive power. Absolutely, they are. The people who benefit most from abuse they'll be proud to put you in the abuse. Absolutely, they'll say, fuck how you feel about the abuse. Just go back to the abuse. Absolutely, yeah. So, you know, church hurt you. They'll try to make fun of you for it. Say it's not a good enough reason to get away from it. And I think that's fucking absurd. This lady called me Satanist for believing in myself. That's hilarious. Yeah, well, says the abusive Satanist. I'm not a Satanist, nor am I abusive. I don't think I'm abusive. I don't even yell at people. I yell to myself a lot though. I probably gotta get that under check. You got kicked out of 5 churches. Let's go, baby. All right, Madison. I'm gonna see you later. Have a good rest of your day. Appreciate you. Spam elsewhere. Y'all say goodnight to Madison. Skadoosh! 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 Get on out of here. Get on out of here. You're not being scared of being denied entry into heaven? No. No, I'm not scared of being denied entry to heaven. I think if a God is just, then simply not believing he exists won't be enough to, deny me heaven. Plus, like any of the finite shit I did, I mean, I'll take it back. Sure, I think that's not take it back like as in I regret it. But if he was like, okay, you've mocked me on like 50 live streams, so now you get mocked on 50 live streams. Okay, that's fair. But eternal punishment is just never gonna be a finite, finite or equal. What did I miss on YouTube? Let's see here. Can we add an older person this time? I have a young audience, man. I don't know why I have a young audience, but I do. It's probably not really being helped by the fact that I use Minecraft and like GTA 5 and in the backgrounds of my Yap sessions. If you ever knew Christ and you wouldn't be atheist, hope you find him again. No, you can decide if you wanted to invalidate me or proselytize, because I want you to think about that for a second. You say you hope I find him again, not find him, but find him again. But then, right before that, you said I never knew him. So which is it? Do I have to find him again because I knew him before, or did I never know him and you hope I just find him in general? Like, can we at least pick our antagonization before we hand it out? Are you reading the chat on TikTok or do you have a Twitch? I have a YouTube. I'm live on YouTube right now, and so I'm reading that too. I'm going back and forth between the chats, but I do have a Twitch as too. I do have a Twitch as well, but I'm not live right there. I mean, live there right now. I don't. But I'll be honest with you, I'm coming up really hard right now because to get my mixer working right, I had to restart my computer, and I was like in those like 2 minutes I was gone. I you know, took a nice big fat rip. I'm feeling it. Anyway, Exodus 21:26, Exodus 21:16, Leviticus 25:39-43, Deuteronomy 25, yeah, like a slavery. Sure thing, pal. What'd you have for breakfast? I didn't have breakfast. I ate just dinner. I just had a sausage and mac and cheese. I had some like leftover hot Italian sausages in the freezer, so I just took those out, chopped a couple up, threw them in a box of mac and cheese, called it a day. GG, no re. Why were you ever a Christian? Indoctrination is why I was a Christian. I wish you the best, brother. Hope you find your way back to God. You're just picking the fights by the sound of it. Just know he always forgives. Yeah, if you think me having you know, disagreements with people is quote unquote picking fights, then this probably isn't the stream for you, but hope you have a good rest of your day. You hate sausages with pasta? I love sausage with pasta, dude. It's not one of my favorites, but it gets the job done for sure. Like some rigatoni and some ground sausage, or like some cut up sausage, and I just love sausage, man. I love having meat in my mouth, dude. I absolutely love it. I love when the juices of the meat just burst in my mouth, man, and just getting a nibble on it a little bit, you know, swallow it, man. I fucking love sausage in my mouth, dude. Have you read about how all of Jesus' disciples were killed? Yeah, story says a thing. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's that the story says that people were convinced of the story. It's therefore they died in the story. Sure. Hold up, hold on. What do y'all mean by that? Have you ever done blasphemy against the Holy Spirit since it's the unforgivable sin? I can do it right now if you want me to. What's the how do you commit blasphemy against the Holy Spirit? I got you. I got you. Anyway, if you're an atheist, I want you to answer these questions. The first is how the earth is formed and why why it's flat, dude. What? Huh? The earth isn't flat. Okay, let's start there. It's not flat, it's an oblate spheroid, but sphere is also a good enough answer. But it's spherical because that's how gravity works. Things go toward the center of the mass. We're in a three-dimensional object, so an omnidirectional center of mass for a planet would cause the planet to be spherical. Second, why does water stick to the earth? Gravity. Amazing compatibility between the amazing compatibility between the air and the atoms and all the creatures on the earth. I don't even know what you mean by that, to be honest with you. How do they agree, and how do they all live within a certain range? Like, how do animals agree? Have you been smoking? Like, you've been smoking some shit stronger than me. Holy, dude. You know, get sober a little bit and then come back. You're a god? Are you a god, Kevon? Have you read the Bible? I've read the Bible twice. Yes, 2 times. I've read the NIV once when I was 18, and I've read the NRSV late last year. What world are we in? What do you mean, what world are we in? Planet Earth, I hope. Others kind of on their own over there. Okay, that's fair. Let's see here. We got Giravivar, Hatervivar. I don't know. Still trying to justify slavery to somebody who is half black. Love to see it. You fucking losers in the comments. Damn, y'all gonna take that from Matthew? I think Matthew wants to smoke, man. Do I believe in the possibility of something more? I do. Possibility, sure. I think that humans don't have it all figured out. I don't think we ever will. The universe is way too vast for us to have it all figured out. And physics wouldn't necessarily account for things that are outside of physical laws, but I just don't have any reason to believe in them, so I don't. So I think it's an unknowable position. So I mean, I hold out reservation for it being true, but I mean, I'm not holding my breath here. Thoughts on Norse paganism? It's decent. You know, it's Thor and Freya and Frigga and Bor and Odin. I don't know too much about the lore itself, but fun stuff. Ragnarok is pretty scary, obviously. If you like, my favorite paganistic lore would probably have to be the Egyptian one for sure. You're atheist, but you're not Satanist, are you? No, but I'll probably end up as a Satanist. I think I'm gonna. So I'm trying to do this thing where I read as many holy books as possible, and I'm gonna read the Book of Mormon next, and then after that, I'm gonna read the Satanic Bible, which I mean technically isn't a holy book, but it is the core, you know, thing behind Satanism. So, uh, what lie do you know that has lasted thousands of years? Oh, that a guy was born of a virgin and rose from the dead. What's the meaning of life? I think for my life, the meaning would be, or at least my purpose would be to make the lives of people around me as easy as possible and experience the things that I'm interested in experiencing. And I think that's good enough. I think that's fair. See here. You voted Trump 100%. I'm sorry to hear that. Atheism is wrong. Scientology is the only true one. Oh, wait, I got some. Normally I'd say no, but I got some even better for that one. Xenu's never coming. I would read the Scientology text. What is it like? It's that thing by L. Ron Hubbard. I forget the name of it. I would read it just for the fuck of it, but I mean, I'm not gonna pay for one, and I'm not gonna talk to a Scientologist for one. I heard they don't leave you alone. Brooks, or is that Brook? Brooked? Brooked? Broked? Brook? Brooklet? Brooklet? Brookie-let? I'm butchering this. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Dianetics. There you go. Thank you, Dipster. I appreciate it. That's my man, Dipster. I say my man like you know me whatsoever, but you see me in Pat's chat for sure on my other account. Hugh, Hugh with the emoji next to my name. That's me. Brooklet. Okay, got you. Thank you for the follow, Brooklet. I've never seen a legit Scientology comment. It's a satire. I haven't either. I think it is satire. Katy Perry on the moon, y'all. That reminds me of that one song by her. What was it? E.T. Yeah, with Kanye West. Back before Kanye was the worst person alive. If God said he's the only true God, that means other gods are real. I mean, true. I mean, true. Right. Answer your question. What's your question? It got filtered. That's why I'm not answering it because I don't see your question. Oh, it might be talking to somebody else. I don't know. It wasn't Kanye. Wasn't Kanye. It was gay. Oh, fair. Yeah. Kanye died. I miss Kanye, dude. Every time I listen to I Wonder off of Graduation, it hurts, man. Just mental health is important, dude. Mental health is important, man. My question is why you're trying to stray people away from their faith. If you think that me saying ask me anything is trying to stray people away from their faith, then you have a weak faith. I don't know what to tell you on that one. If God were to show us power to you personally, would you be a believer again? I'd be a believer in that I'd acknowledge that he exists for sure. I wouldn't be a believer. I'd have a knowledge base. Okay, yeah, well, sure, God's real. Why not, right? But would I worship him? No, and I'm going to explain why in tomorrow's video. James, thank you for the follow. There's a lot of disturbing stuff in the Bible. Indeed, there is. Yeah, the whole like rape condonement, slavery condonement, drowning everybody. Like what? Like, huh? Like what? You know, just kill the kids in 1 Samuel 15:3. Like, what are we doing, man? This is what we believe in. This is the arbiter of our morality. My bad for constantly watching YouTube videos making fun of Katy Perry's trip. No, she deserves to be ridiculed for it. If you here's a fun fact. That one trip out to space and back used more fossil fuel than you're going to use in your entire lifetime. You know, have you ever drank out of a paper straw? I've drunk out of one and decided like fuck the turtles at that point because I'm not about to sit here and like it gets so soggy so quickly, so soggy. Just like, huh? I felt like a moron. My drink kind of tasted like cardboard a little bit. Disgusting. and these rich fucks get to go to space and back and use more fuel than I'm ever going to use in my entire lifetime. Like, make it make sense. I'm making sacrifices while they just get to flaunt their wealth and do fuck all. Like, come on, man. Not gonna lie, heaven doesn't even sound that good. I don't want to be anywhere eternally. Me either, honestly. I feel like for me, like the best possible outcome for an afterlife would be like I get to be the like god of my own universe. No, I get to forget it whenever I want to, remember it whenever I want to, if like certain conditions happen, and then whenever I want, if I didn't want, I could take myself out. Like I get to be God, but not all powerful. Like not all powerful, and that I get to die whenever I want, just forever. I don't speak. What language is that? Italian. Double T. That's Italian. Se si pensi la persona ci crede di meno o ci crede di più nella Bibbia e state tipo c'è la scritta. I don't speak Italian. I'm so sorry. Why'd you stop being Christian? Lack of evidence is why I stopped being a Christian. I looked at the evidence of for God and found all of it unconvincing. Would you be scared if in our lifetime Jesus comes back and the rapture happens? Yeah, I'd be scared as shit for multiple reasons. Firstly, I don't live all that far from a nuclear reactor, so like, if half the staff in there just died off randomly or like went to heaven randomly, something really catastrophic would happen. There's that. All the planes crashing and all that different stuff. It's gonna be really tragic for all the people on board. And then I know that the God that actually rules the reality that I live in is a massive piece of shit. So that would suck. But yeah, scared in that regard. But scared like, oh man, I'm wrong. I better start worshiping this guy now. No, I wouldn't be scared in that regard. Do I hate gays? Not even a little bit. I think I haven't asked him yet, but because I know he's bi, but I think one of my friends is I don't think he likes women. I think he's like Elton John in the '80s, where he had to like pretend like he kind of liked women, but we all knew. I say we all knew, like I wasn't born in '96, but um, yeah, I'm going on a tangent. No, I don't hate gay people at all. Why you're not Christian anymore? A lack of evidence is why I'm not a Christian. I don't see any evidence for Christianity being true, so I left. I can imagine hell sharing a cloud with all the pious Christians forever. Yeah, that would suck, dude. All the people that there was this one, I can't say the slur, but somebody called me a homophobic slur recently. For muting them for my stream. And yeah, it's just like I get to share heaven with this piece of shit forever. Just thanks, I guess. Uh Father JD Vance wear so much makeup, I don't know, to cover up the ugly ass soul of his. Let me join, brother, and let's debate. No, I'm good on that. I'm just starting my stream back over, and also I'm very, very stoned at the moment, so you know, give it. You might as well just drop. Maybe come back later. I'm talking like, what time is it? 4:37. I don't know. Maybe like at the very absolute least, like 10-20 minutes. So yeah, it was liquid oxygen and liquid hydrogen that powered the rocket. Oh shit. Well, I said something incorrect. Fuck. Um, yeah. Thank you. Why'd you lose faith? Lack of evidence is why I lost faith. Were you deep into apologetics before converting? I wouldn't say deep. I looked into apologetics and I didn't get that deep in because like it's like at first it felt good to have answers, but after a while I was like, okay, there's an answer for literally everything, and for a book written by men, written by humans, that seems a little odd. So I don't know. Anyway, I thought we didn't have souls. I don't think we have souls. Did I? Are you talking to somebody else? Did I say something and imply that I think we do? Oh, you mean like, oh, JD Vance is covering the ugly soul? Yeah, it was I mean, turn of phrase, right? You know, it's not worth looking too deep into. I'm an atheist too. I feel that those who view life as a test for an afterlife are just being lazy because they don't want to put efforts into life. Yeah, absolutely. I think that the biggest existential threat to the planet are people who believe that it doesn't matter what you do on the planet. That's why you have so many Christians denying climate change. It's like, what the fuck are we doing? You hate Trump too? I sure the fuck do, dude. Yeah, I would think hating anybody that's tanked the economy in a country that I otherwise love, and that invalidates people's identities and deports people and isn't working to bring back a wrongfully deported citizen back to America is worthy of hatred and a lot more that I can't say on TikTok. I get Orton, Cena, Theory, Ricochet, Balor, Braun, Batista, Cody, Gable, Knight, all mine. What do you mean? Oh, you're talking about like oh. Well, firstly, you're a wrestling fan. Let's see if it's valid. Orton, valid. I get it. Cena, maybe I don't know. Theory, I get it. Ricochet, I don't quite get that one. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and judge your preferences, but I don't quite get that one. Balor, I get it. Braun, I mean, Batista, Cody, yeah, kind of get it. Gable, yeah, sure, yeah. Knight, I don't know why I'm even bothering to entertain this, but sure. Is strawberry milk better than chocolate? Yeah, I think so for sure. Fun story. I used to be in school. I'm not gonna say what was happening because that would kind of dox me a little bit, but there was a protest outside of our school for certain reasons, and everybody poured out. Like I didn't know what was happening that day. We got served strawberry milk that day. It was always plain or chocolate, but that day was strawberry, and so just random last period, they're like, okay, yeah, everybody come outside so we can protest this event. And before I came outside, I was like, wait, we had strawberry milk today. And like nobody was in the hallway, security was outside, all the teachers were gone, office was empty. And so I really went really quickly, went to the cafeteria and like saw a crate of the strawberry milks and like stuffed my backpack with them and just like I'm leaving here with something before we go protest and shit. So yeah, went home, I was in strawberry milk heaven. Love it. Only if it's flavored with real strawberries. I like the artificial. I don't know. I like the artificial. I mean, the natural's good too, but the artificial, that's it's serviceable. Do you believe that Jesus died on the cross for you and resurrected, or no? I think Jesus died on the cross if he did exist, but I don't think he resurrected. Absolutely not. I think he was if he was a like put to death for blasphemy, then he was most likely just thrown into a mass grave, and that was the end of his story. Uh, I got into a debate with my dad, which ended when he clarified he doesn't believe a species can go extinct naturally. Then, then wow, then wow, then wow. I kind of like your voice. What the huh? Okay, I'm not reading that. Okay, well, thank you for the compliment, Trixie. I appreciate it. Um, the rest of it, I don't know how to respond to that one. To be honest, I caught me off guard. People need to stop quoting the Bible and use the external sources for evidence. Absolutely. The Bible is the claim. I don't know why people still try to pretend it's the warrant for the claim. John 5:31, thank you for the rose. Yummy rose. And Kim Chopper Squad, thank you for the follow. Does knowing there's a chance of nothingness after death make you value life more? It does for me, absolutely. Yeah, yes, because it's the one chance I get with myself and everything I get to do, and also with everybody around me. So I'm cool with that. It's like saying Harry Potter is real because he has many books written about his life. Yeah, and also the fact is you can go to like Universal Studios and see somebody cosplaying them. It's just like, what are we doing? Oh, hi, what's up, Jesse? How you doing? Fake strawberry flavor and it's just chemicals. Yeah, yeah, but I mean, it's good chemicals. It's yummy chemicals. JB20, thank you for the follow. And John531, thank you for the rose side soup. Thank you for the follow as well. I appreciate y'all. And Jesse, thank you for the heart me. Yeah, appreciate it. You have one life, enjoy it the best way you can. That's it. There it is, You get the one. Just the one. Use it. Live like it's all you get. Unless you want to do awful things to people, in which case, kind of not do that. Jesse, thank you for the 4 ice cream cones. I appreciate it. I gotta get rid of those like alerts on YouTube. They're probably really annoying for them. I can probably do that right now. Alerts. Sorry, really quickly. Alerts. Oh, it's in actions and events. Like alert. I can just I don't want to dump it, but yeah, I gotta turn it off somehow. I'll figure it out next stream. Why not? Jesse, thank you for the 4 additional ice cream cones. Why did you become an atheist? I appreciate it, Jesse. Thank you. I became an atheist because I just didn't see any evidence for God being real. That's the only reason. Oh, yummy ice cream. Oh shit. All right. Yeah, you're right. The ice cream is pretty yummy. Yummy ice cream. Yummy. 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 Okay, that's enough. You get 4. I'm not giving you the full 8. But yeah, I just looked at the evidence and found all of it unconvincing. John, thank you for the additional rose. I appreciate you. I'm gonna do so much with that rose, man. That sounded wrong. Who cares? Anyway, uh, did you get a chocolate cross for Easter? No, I got those. I picked up some Cadbury cream eggs from the not 7-Eleven, the CVS, and like these like like Whoppers, the little chocolate covered malted milk balls. I got those, but they were Easter eggs, so they had a candy shell over it. They were nice. They were decent. I got really high on them and just crunched. 10,000 likes. I appreciate it. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. That's what I'm talking about. Round of applause for you guys. 10K likes. Hell yeah. Burgers from Burger King. I'm not huge on Burger King, honestly. It's okay. It's fine. It'll do. But like, there's never a day where I'm like, I'm really craving some Burger King instead of like, I don't know, like Five Guys. I mean, Five Guys is too easy. It's when it's that expensive, it better be that good. But like McDonald's or Wendy's, Burger King is mid, dude. Especially their fries. Their fries fucking suck, dude. There's this Burger King not far from me, that I stop in maybe, twice a year maybe. And their fries, I don't know what it is about them. I stopped ordering them, but they always smell like, not smell, but taste like, they have the aftertaste of like cleaner of some sort. If it is cleaner, I'm glad they're cleaning their fryers out. That's pretty sweet, but I don't know. Can we like maybe like wash that out or something before we start frying shit up in it? I don't know. Call CBS on my school. Fuck it, let's do it. What's the main reason you left Christianity? The lack of evidence is why I left. I looked for the evidence and found all of it unconvincing. Mac fries is the bomb.com. McDonald's got some pretty good fries, yeah. I'd say here's a deep cut. It's like the main reason I ever get food from here, but Arby's has some really good fries. Really good. And also, I mean, they're seasoned, so it's kind of cheating, but Checkers and Rallies. I don't know, like if you're from the U.S. or I don't know if they have them in the like outside the Midwest, but yeah, depending on your state, it's either Checkers or Rallies. In my state, it's Checkers, but yeah, they got some really good fries too. Sometimes I don't know, they're way too greasy. I mean, obviously it's fries, so no shit, but there's a difference between dropping cold fries in the really hot oil versus like sitting fries in some lukewarm oil and then letting it hit temperature. What made you choose to live life over obedience and subservience? Dougal, I love the way you asked that question. Funny story, not wanting to be subservient and obedient to a piece of shit anymore. That's what made me do that. John, thank you for the dolphin. Yeah, appreciate it. JB, thank you for the heart me. Welcome to the team, or however you pronounce it. And also, John, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Sincerely. The atheist lives have more interesting conversations. The religious ones repeat the same thing over and over again. That's been my experience too. And not just because I'm an atheist, but like, and I guess a lot of it comes down to the fact that so many people are religious, is that you'll find a lot more people opposing like what the host is saying. A lot more, they tend to have more personality, or at least show more personality. Yeah, for sure. It's in religious lives, it's more so just like come in, the choir are getting preached to, no pun intended, and like you might get an atheist here and there, but for the most part, I do what most atheists do and just scroll away whenever I see them. So yeah, back to work. Have a good rest of your night. Also, Dardar, thank you for the follow, and John, thank you for the additional rose. As an atheist, why did you originally believe in God? Good question. Indoctrination. I was taught that the claims of Christianity were the truth before I learned anything else. So obviously I believed in it, you trust the people that have authority over you, right? But there was that, and used the vibes, just believed it. There you go. Not gonna lie, ever since I've been denying Christianity, anyone who's been like, fine God, I just find annoying. Yeah, yeah, I'd say the worst for me is Jesus loves you or God loves you. And not even because like it's proselytizing, like the fact that people preach and proselytize, I'm so used to at this point. It's like, you get a thick skin doing this, or you learn to get used to things. But it's more so just the fact of like, what am I supposed to say to that? Okay, cool, sweet. God loves me. That's great. Now what? So it's, if we're going to say things that are, if we're going to use catchphrases, at least have some use behind it or something I can go off of. But I mean, Jesus loves you or God loves you. It's just like the most useless, like it's the sandbag of catchphrases. It's just, even sandbags have some use. I can't stand it. It's like, now what? Kevon, thank you for the heart me. Megan and drumroll please. Adeline, thank you for the follow. Thoughts on the existence of heaven or hell? I don't believe that heaven or hell exist. I think that they're made up. You know, one is just goodness that you're supposed to look to by following a religion, and then one is like a consequence and a way to coerce people who don't believe in the religion, or who don't follow it to the letter. So don't believe they exist. I don't think anyone goes to heaven. I don't think anyone goes to hell. I think that's just it. Or the I'll pray for you. I'll pray for you is pretty rough too. Here's a fun story. I'm gonna sell out real quick. I made a video recently. It's over an hour long of like reviewing Christian catchphrases. It's on my YouTube. So we need something to play in the background with like mid sound quality. It's right there. You cried a white tear down your leg. Ew. Ew. Marvel or DC? Marvel. Marvel for comics and movies, DC for animated movies, obviously, and games. What made you turn to atheism? I left my faith after about a year and a half of deconstruction, and deconstruction is just critically thinking about why you believe what you believe, and interrogating your faith and taking it apart layer by layer, piece by piece, checking to see if you find any veracity in the claims of the faith. And ultimately, for me, after about a year and a half of that process, I just came to the conclusion that I don't believe in anything supernatural or divine. Pancakes or waffles or tacos? I never heard somebody include tacos in that. Okay, I like tacos a lot more than the other two for sure. But it was just like, what's the best like breakfast bread? I'd say waffles. No, French toast. What I say French toast? Honestly, French toast is kind of cheating because there's always like cinnamon and extra shit put with it. Not so for waffles or pancakes unless you add it yourself. But in general, just I'll say waffles over pancakes. Here's a fun story about me though. I can't stand pancakes. I hate them. I hate the texture itself is fine if you make it a certain kind of way. Obviously the taste isn't bad, but just something about the way that pancakes sit in my stomach is just disgusting. Makes me want to throw up every time. I don't know. Just my body rejects pancakes for some reason. I don't want an afterlife. I don't want an eternal one me either. How long were you a believer? I was a believer until I can't, as far back as I can remember, and I deconstructed fully and like called myself an atheist for the first time when I was 19. That's a good reason, but I'm still stuck believing I want to see my family after I die. If you're convinced that it's real, I mean, I don't want to take that from you. Yeah, absolutely, yes. Believe what's most convinces you and be unapologetic about it. It's okay to fall apart. Tacos fall apart and still taste good. Yeah, true. I don't want to go over this like one high food that I make. Like after I had some like it's this one munchie meal I make. It's so big backish and it's so absurd. But if I'm just like couch locked watching Black Mirror or something, it has to do with tacos. It's tacos, some pizza with it, some salt. It's egregious, and I'm not going to talk about it, but it's egregious. What is your favorite video game? My favorite video game is GTA 5. GTA 5 or GeoGuessr. If GeoGuessr even counts as a video game, I don't know. It's a game for sure, but video game, I don't know. know what you know now, do you think you always had some doubt deep down? No, I used to believe this shit wholeheartedly, man. It was everything I knew up until I learned different. So it's like, how do I best explain it? I was, yeah, I don't know. I can't come up with a good analogy right now, but I was like I was watered with it was like a seed watered with I can't come up with a good analogy, but it was all I knew basically. I didn't know any better, didn't know any different, so it's what I believed. I was a believer when Shrek came out. Seriously. Yeah, I was a believer when Shrek came out. Yeah, hell yeah. Whenever like whenever the last Shrek was, that's when I was like, if as long as it was over 10 years ago, that's when I was last a believer. Uh what's my favorite dinosaur? Ankylosaurus for sure. I like their tails. You know, they probably fuck you up. TS bum ass live. Y'all need to, if y'all gonna use AAVE, like at the very least get it right. Like TS means this shit. It doesn't. It's not short for this. Like at least if we're gonna use AAVE, come on, man. Like you gotta get it right. The Great Cornholio is in chat. Let's go. I don't fun. I'm not huge on South Park. It's funny. I never regret watching it, but it's never my first choice. Do I have OF? No, I don't have an OF. I don't even know what I would do on OF. So no, no. I don't have one. I don't. Even, I wouldn't even start one honestly. I don't know what the fuck I do on there. That's not South Park, is it not? No. What is it? Cornholio? Well, I don't know. I can't remember. Uh, are you alone? I'm alone right now. Yeah, my room is. It's just me in here. I got a cat in the house, but it's just me in my room. I was saying that this shit bum venting about nothing. Huh? Yeah, is this? It's not TS. TS is this shit. It's not short for this, man. We can get into the yeah, I can keep giving you attention all you want for like just trying to insult me. Like, sure, but you gotta get it right before you insult me. Uh Kingdom of God is within you. No, the organs are within me. Organs and blood is what's within me. Yeah, it's the same. I used to be a Christian, but now I'm an atheist. Hell yeah. Welcome to reality. Good to see you. Just join the stream, but like, why do you not believe that there is a God? I just don't see any convincing evidence for a God personally. That's why I don't believe in one. If there was evidence that a God existed, I would believe that a God existed. It's really about as simple as I could say. No evidence, so no belief. Anyway, belief comes from the heart. No, blood comes from the heart. What's up, Elijah? How you doing today? Let's see what we got here. How hot is in hell? I don't know, dude. I don't think hot at all because it's hot as anything non-existent, I guess. I do believe in ghosts though. Someone pushed me down the stairs and I was sober. Oof. Oof. That's an oof. You good? You decent? No broken bones, none of that. I never thought there would be other former Christians on the platform. Well, you found one. You found one. Yeah, I was a Christian for 19 years. It's been 10 years since I left. Yeah, we're out here. We're chilling. The YouTube algorithm did you right. Were you raised a Christian and realized there's no evidence later? Correct. Yeah, I was raised Christian. I was Christian until I was 19. Where did you rank Kingdom of God phrase? I didn't rank that one honestly. I probably got to do a part 2 eventually because there's a lot that I missed. But yeah, I got like I want to say like close to 50 of them, but I missed quite a few. There's nothing wrong with OF and you'll be great. No, I don't think there's anything wrong with OF. It's just I don't think I like what would I do on there, you know? It's like I don't think I got anything that anybody wants to see, much less pay for. TikTok keeps bringing me back. TikTok is based. Yeah. But no, you're probably stuck in a live loop. Lucas, thank you for the follow. What denomination did you belong to? I was raised in Baptist churches until I was 16, and then I was in an apostolic church for 2 years until I was 18. And then 18 is when I started questioning things, so I left the church altogether. So I, because I didn't want to, quote unquote, be in God's house while I was, you know, have questioning some really integral stuff about them. You're 19, you left too. We're all trying to figure it out. It's all we can do, man. Maneuver, walk the earth around us, and try to figure shit out. What's your opinion on the tariffs by Donald Trump? I think Donald Trump's a fucking moron. That's what I think about him. I think that what he did with like poking the bear with China was probably the dumbest thing he could have did. I'm glad they're not backing down from it. Like it's gonna hurt our economy, but I mean, what isn't? So if we're gonna get hurt, there better at least be some lessons learned from it. Do I pray still? No, I don't pray at all. I don't believe in a God, so I don't believe there's anybody listening, so I don't pray. How can one homeless man create a religion that grew so grand in the middle of nowhere? It's really funny you ask that to somebody who's half black and a quarter Native American. Through bloodshed and violence and coercion and indoctrination, that's how a religion can spread like wildfire. It's no secret that the two most what's the word I'm looking for? Two most widespread religions or two most popular religions are also the two that's done the most killing. The Bible's most progressive book in the time for women. If you call 1 Timothy 2:12 progressive, I think you might have brain damage. Do you think the earth is a donut? That would be fun, but no, unfortunately. I still can't get over circumcision. It seems barbaric to injure a newborn baby. Yeah, I don't get it too, man. I'm TMI, but I'm glad I didn't have to I'd be really depressed if I had to go ahead, get rid of that. It's just like what are we getting rid of that for? Well, yeah, let's just make that organ less sensitive for literally no good reason whatsoever. Oh, it's more hygienic. Motherfucker, just pull the shit down, man. Please, pull the shit down. What the fuck? Why not believe in God? Look at this Bible verse. Everyone who believes will spend eternity with God in heaven. It's never too late to start believing. I don't believe. I'm not convinced. I'm being honest. I just looked at the evidence. God seems like a work of fiction. Therefore, I just can't bring myself to believe in a work of fiction. How much do you pay on taxes as an atheist? Too fucking much. Too fucking much. I looked at my tax rate recently on my paycheck because I did my obviously did my taxes, and man, just the money they took from me over the year, and then they had the nerve to not give it all back. Like, what the fuck are we doing? You're telling me you're gonna take this many $1,000, but then like not give it back? Come the fuck on. Is atheist a stronger Christian, like a premium Christian, basically? Yeah, we're Christian plus, Christian premium. What's goddamn it, what's another one? Like Christian silver. No, like Christian gold, basically stuff. Because Christianity isn't the truth, Islam is. I've read the Quran, and the Quran's definitely not the truth either. I think if the Quran were the truth, then it could have came up with one story about what we were created from, but it says like a bunch of different things about how Allah created us, and that contradict with each other. What do you make of the Jesus of Nazareth? Oh God, I can't talk. What do you make of Jesus of Nazareth, historical person or myth? To be fair, there's a lot of S's and TH's in that one. That was rough. But person, sure, why not? Son of God, resurrected, absolutely not. Name one contradiction from the Quran. I got you. Give me a second. Let me pull up my notes. Got you. Wait a second. All right. Says in what we got here. Surah 3, verse 59, that we were created from dust. But then it says in 21:30 that we were created from water. It says in 15:26 that we were created from burnt clay. But then it says in 37:11 that we were created from sticky clay. This kind of goes in line with dust, I guess, in one type of way. It says on 11:61 we were created from the earth, or earth. 96:1 and 2 say we were created from a blood clot. 16:4 and 75:37 say we were created from a drop of thick fluid. Like, I'm not gonna say what the thick fluid is, but Now you might argue, oh, we were created from all of these things. They don't contradict each other. It's a bunch of different things and components that Allah used to create us. But then that goes in direct contradiction with 1967, which says that Allah created us from nothing. So all of those things are something, which would contradict us being made from nothing. So There's one of my favorite contradictions for you. It also says that all of Noah's family survived the flood in 2176, but then it says in 1143 that his son drowned. A blood clot? Yeah, that was in the 96th surah, verses 1 and 2. I'll read it for you really quickly. Really wild book. Really, really interesting book. It says somewhere in the Quran, I think it was like for the fourth surah that not oh wait, no. God damn it. In the fourth surah, I want to say it is, where Allah would take unbelievers, burn their skin off, and then just keep giving them new skin so that it could keep burning it off. Read, O Prophet, in the name of your Lord who created humans from a clinging clot. Yep, 96, 1 and 2. The Quran is sick. It's a version of the word sick for sure. This dude is in the KKK, and I'm too black to join the KKK, dude. No, I'm not gonna. They wouldn't accept me even if I were one of those self-hating ones. I'm way too yeah. What's your opinion on Therians / furries? I don't know what a Therian is. I mean, with furries, they can be kind of annoying, but I mean, express yourself however you want to and do so unapologetically, especially if you're not hurting anybody. And as far as I know, none of them are actual zoophiles or anything like that. So have at it, boss. Just not for me personally. Opinion on Five Guys with no burger or fries. I enjoy a nice, thick, wonderful, lovely, delicious milkshake in my mouth. Absolutely. Absolutely, I do. Love it. You know, little chunky bits in there. I slurp that up. Hey, yo, what do you mean? Hey, yo, dude, they have milkshakes there too. I mentioned that's from Five Guys with no burger and no fries. The fuck, man? What's up, Casbas? 2009, how you doing? Anyway, what's the cost mentally to have faith? Your Sundays, this belief that you're being watched literally all the time, this belief that there's something either really good or really awful waiting for you in the afterlife, wondering if you did it right or not, having to deal with trauma in a different kind of way, having to associate with people a different kind of way. There's a lot of downsides. Don't waste my valuable time with atheists, says the person that spent their time commenting. What'd you change? Stop ignoring my question. I answer it like, at least if I answered it literally every time somebody sent it, I would be here all night answering the same question like 50 times a minute. So if you want to stick around for a bit and wait until the next time I answer it, I mean, by all means, go for it. But I'm not going to keep repeating lack of evidence like 50,000 times. How's the live going without Jesus care? The live is going. The live is going. It's going for sure. Notice all atheists have really baseless arguments and just argue angrily. I mean, if by baseless argument you mean like taking the words that are on the page and reading the words that are on the page and being honest about the words that are on the page, then I mean, sure. But if you mean in some way of like, oh, we just scream and yell and don't actually address what's being talked about and just talk out of our tuchus, then I mean, you just got that wrong. Do you watch basketball? I don't really watch basketball, to be honest with you. No, it's not really for me. I don't watch any I mean, unless you count like professional wrestling as a sport, I don't. But if you do, then I watch that. But no, I don't. I don't really watch any actual sports. Uh, Contradiction. You say there are different stages of Allah creating us, and it's kind of funny you say that. I've talked to multiple Muslims. They're like the second. It's a funny story. Second most popular religion. Second most popular religion of people I talk to. And a lot of them don't even make that excuse. Some of them say like, "Oh, he was created from all of those things." Nothing describes like it's a metaphorical. So the fact that y'all can't even get the words correctly or like the story correctly shows that there's not a univocal message in the Quran, showing that it's just another holy book like the other ones. Just wonder what was the reason of becoming an atheist and not Christian? Just asking. I left my faith after about a year and a half of deconstruction, which is just critically thinking about why you believe what you believe and interrogating your faith, taking it apart layer by layer, piece by piece, checking to see if you find any veracity in the claims of the faith. And for me, after about a year and a half of that process, I just came to the conclusion that I don't believe in anything supernatural or divine. Divine. What's your thought on Pope Francis compared to the other popes? Um, I mean, I wasn't really paying attention to like Vatican politics before Pope Francis, to be honest with you. So I can't comment from a place of like actual observation. Quran's a holy book without mistakes. You guys just misunderstand it. Yeah, every religion claims that their holy book is the one that's right and has no, has nothing wrong with it whatsoever. It's all morally good. It's all scientifically good, all evidentially good, and it's so, I don't know what to tell you on that. Y'all figure it out amongst yourselves and then come back to me. Have you heard of the story of the prodigal son? Yeah, I've read that one. You think there's no God? That's correct. I don't believe there is a God. Don't see one. There is a God. Prove it. I mean, I just wonder. Oh, I've already read that. Are you going to check or explore other religions? I've read the Quran once. I want to read the Book of Mormon. I guess it's just like an offshoot of Christianity still, but even still, I'm going to read it just to read it and just to get myself more familiar with it. After that, I'm going to read the Satanic Bible, and after that, I'm going to read the Gitas of Hinduism. Every time I see blood clots, I think about minstrels. Ugh. Ugh. I know it's very virgin of me to say ugh. I know it's natural and obviously, but yeah, yeah, an unfortunate process. Ricky, thank you for the follow. Why do you care so much about religion if you're an atheist? Fun. That's a fun question for sure. I think that this deserves to be talked about. I think people should know the claims of their book. I think people should learn how to critically think if they don't normally employ that strategy in their day-to-day life. And also I think that people that believe in things and also people that don't believe in things should have a lot of their not the claims, but should be demystified to each other for sure. Satanic Temple is amazing, very supportive, positive group. I gotta see if there's a Temple of Satan near me. Satanic Temple near me. I'm gonna head out. Have a good night or good morning. Good morning, but yeah, appreciate you being here, Gucci Penguin. Have a good rest of your night. Thank you for all your stuff. A second. Let me see if there's one near me. If Christians can bombard atheists with the Bible, why can't atheists speak their mind? Yeah, and it's a fun story. I don't know why they feel the need to say that to me, but then like sure enough, if they see some street preacher on a milk crate with a megaphone on the street talking about the end is coming, save your soul, God is real, and John 3:16 and all this other bullshit. Like I bet they just walk past him like, amen, and call it a day. Like if you believe in a thing already, why talk about it? Conversely, if I don't believe in a thing, why talk about it? See what we got here. Find a congregation. There's not that many around. Are there? Ooh, wait. Oh wait, there's one in my state, but it's not very close. Probably not close enough for me to check out. Can you even respond to non-religious questions? Depends on the non-religious question. Yeah, I'll try to respond to anything if it's like a question I want to answer. Did you think about what created us? Yeah, past like your parents and their parents and their parents. I mean, like if you mean like what created the whole universe, I don't think anything created it. I think it's always existed. This was fun, but it's 5:08 and I need to sleep. Good night, all. Have a good rest of the night, Jay. Appreciate you being here. Thank you. TST is doing things that Church of Satan wouldn't do, like the Satanic Book Club. Yeah, I'll be honest with you with the like Satanist. I won't call it infighting, but like the temple versus church. As I don't know the difference at this point. I haven't looked too much into it, so can't comment on it too much. But all I know is I'm gonna check one of these motherfuckers out. Yeah. Universal Unitarian Church is pretty cool too. I went to one Universalist church when we were out of town and I still wanted to go to church. I say well, my mom still wanted to go to church, and they were cool. They were chill. Had a little cafe in there. That was fun. Don't duck, bro. What do you mean don't duck, dude? Who are you? Which one are you again? I'm new. What caused you to change? Oh, it's lack of evidence. I left after about a year and a half of deconstruction, critically thinking about why you believe what you believe, interrogating your faith, taking it apart, checking to see if you find any veracity in the claims of the faith, and I just didn't find any evidence convincing. He created us in stages, so it's easy to understand if you read it. Oh, that's fun. Let's see what we got here. What order are they in? So he created us from, okay, dust first. That's cool. What comes next? Then the earth. Okay, we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. Okay. And then, drum roll, please. Semen out of nowhere. Okay, love to see it. That comes next. And then, oh, wait, no, that's not next. Burnt clay was after it. Okay, so he created us from dust and then earth and then burnt clay and then a drop of semen. And then he just backtracked on all of it and created us from nothing. He was like, okay, let me just scratch that, turn him into nothing again. And then I was like, all right, let's try this again, but I'm gonna start by creating them from water, I guess. And then and then like, oh, let me just turn that water into sticky clay, I guess. And then and then another drop of steam. And then followed by he was like, all right, I finally got it. We did all this stuff and now let's do a blood clot. Why are Muslims such fucking liars, dude? I can't stand y'all sometimes, man. Why are y'all such goddamn liars? Why do y'all just feel the need to make shit up? Like, make shit up to yourself. Don't make shit up to me. Like, why are y'all so fucking, why are y'all like this? God damn, y'all. I can't stand you lying liars who lie, dude. Why are y'all such fucking liars, man? Just scroll away. Scroll away. Just ignore the contradiction to yourself. Call it a day. It's fine. Things happen, right? But they just sit here lie in my face, just like, oh, let me make this narrative up and then make this other one and just lie, like just lie. Just fuck off, man. God damn. Yes. Ugh. Is it normal for churches to take drops of blood from us? It's not normal in the slightest. Islam is the real religion. It absolutely isn't. What do you think about Palestine? Free Palestine until Palestine is free. That's what I think. Tell me one thing. Why do you think Santa's not real? Do you have any evidence? What do I think? Do I have any evidence that Santa is not real? Is that what you're asking? Just to make sure we're on the same page. Muhammad invented embryo research. These motherfuckers will just say anything. They say just the wildest shit ever. I don't even care that I got suspended, dude. Fuck that, man. Y'all are so, like, yeah, I agree with it. Fuck it. Goodness. Yes, I agree. Absolutely, I do. Fuck off. They are, like, I'll say it again. Muslims are such fucking liars, man. They just cannot stop lying. The burden of God's proof should be on the accuser. Exactly. I don't know why Christians keep trying to, like, pass burden. It's the burden shift. They make the claim that deviates from the reality default, and they're just like, oh, it's on you to disprove it. It's like, nah, not how it works. Why'd you leave? The lack of evidence is why I left. I didn't see any evidence, so I left. Did I watch the Minecraft movie? I did not watch the Minecraft movie. No. Am I going to? Maybe not, honestly. Come back to Jesus, brethren. Nah, I'll pass. I'll pass. The burden of proof is upon those claiming what that a God even exists to begin with. Yeah, exactly. Here we go. Here, asked unironically to someone that asked if you have any evidence. There is no. I asked ironically to some. Oh, okay, got you. I'm out of the loop here. I don't. If I don't see like the little like, if you're not atting somebody, then I'll just assume you're talking to me. Honestly, that's my bet. Jesus is not God. I agree. I think Jesus was just a regular schmegular dude. You don't need to insult your viewers just because you're reading a random comment on YouTube. No, that one's from TikTok. Let's start there and then call all believers liars. I didn't call all believers liars. I called Muslims liars. Because Muslims, for some odd reason, feel the biggest need to lie to me over everybody else. I'll never quite get it. I'll never understand it. These motherfuckers will make up literally anything and everything on the spot. They just like, they pull shit out of their ass. Every single time, just like no matter what. Oh, here's some verses in the Quran that contradict. And instead of saying, oh, these verses contradict, it's like, oh, okay, well actually, let me just make something up. That's lying. They're a lying liar who lies. Yes, absolutely. Organic life came from clay. Great deluge, same time as Bible depicts. That's not how it works, dude. I'm sorry, dude. It's we can maybe try to misunderstand abiogenesis some more if we want to, but I don't know what you expect me to do with that. God can do anything, so why doesn't he? He doesn't do a goddamn thing. Here's a fun story. Everything that God, people claim that God does now, they either can't show that it was caused by anybody or it was very clearly caused by a person. Like God is the one that made your surgery go good when there's like surgeons that were in there, working their ass off and with a steady hand trying to, get you right. How do babies exist? Uh, like your parents do a thing. They do a thing, and then the thing is what causes the what causes the baby with a steady hand trying. Yeah, so there we go. It's potato. Not really though, because clay wasn't. If never mind. Thank you for the cross emoji. I don't know what you want me to do with it. Don't get me wrong, I love if God existed, but if someone doesn't change the reality that everything came out of nowhere and there's no creator, and if there isn't, who knows the thing is? I disagree that everything came out of nowhere. I don't think nowhere is a real thing. I think that the universe itself has always existed in some form, but um yeah, otherwise I do agree with you. Otherwise I do it. Yes, like from our little blue marble rotating around a yellow star, we're not gonna know. I don't think we'll ever have the ability to know. They pray for us, we think for them. There you go. Have you heard of Phoebe Ophi? I think you like her channel. I have not heard of Phoebe Ophi. So you're a deist? No, I'm an atheist. I don't think there is anything up there, but open to the idea. Could be true. Yeah, every people can be wrong in their own can be in their own religion or be an atheist. Nothing's wrong with being an atheist. Right. The only people that think there is are people who are indoctrinated by a religion that that considers not believing in it to be something wrong. That's really all there is. Time, space, and matter is just a loop of chaos and order. Yeah. Yeah. Entropy, expansion, dark energy, all that good stuff. Phoebe Ophi, though, let me look that up real quick. Let me mute this tab first off, because I can't stand my own voice. I don't think anybody can, though. See what we got here. 26-year-old trans woman originally from Southeast Missouri streams sometimes and make videos. What are you up to? Let's see what we got here. Does she do live streams or? She does. She does. Yeah, check her out. Why not? Subscribe. Why not? You're under a subscriber, so she has you to thank for it. What pushed you to become an atheist, like the thought process? For me, it was reading the Bible and seeing that the God of the Bible valued different things than I thought that he did, than I was led to believe as a Christian. And so looking into the evidence of God's existence, because God having such human intentions made no sense to me, right? But looking into the evidence and then seeing that none of it made sense, so that's why I left, personally. Do I have faith? Religious faith? Like, no. I don't know, like, what do you consider faith? If you want to say like inductive reasoning and just call that faith, I mean, that's your prerogative, but I mean, I wouldn't consider such a thing faith. I don't know, it just depends. How can something exist without a beginning? Nothingness doesn't qualify as something. Only nothingness has no beginning or end, since just emptiness, our existence defies logic. I don't know. I don't think of time in a tenseless way, like in a tensed way, though. I don't think there's like a past, present, or future. I think that chronologically speaking, the present is all that materialistically exists. And so if the reality as we know it is a brute fact of itself, then like the present reality as we know it is all that exists, then the past will be an illusion and the future will be an illusion. Your views are specific in some sense. The universe is expanding. Track back to beginning 13.8 billion years ago. This fact strongly supports the idea that the universe had a starting point in time. The Big Bang isn't claimed to be the starting point of time, though. It's claimed just to be the expansion of the universe from a hot, dense state. That's quite literally it. People falsely conflate like beginning with expansion, and it's just scientifically it's not correct. Not even to mention there are thousands of gods. Which one is real? Not even mention that there is a creator. That creator may be totally indifferent to love and morality based on how the world is. Exactly. Yeah, it's like it would have more explanatory power to why bad things happen than just the idea that it was created by some all-knowing being who wants to test this. Like that makes no goddamn sense. Uh, all time is happening at once. Humans merely experience time linearly. I mean, that's another theories for sure. I think that I don't believe in like all time though, and that I don't believe that any of the events or all of the events that have happened and never will happen are currently materialistically manifesting. I think it's just like the present is all that's happening, and like it's all that realistically exists tangibly. So we have the ability to think back. We've evolved that ability. We kind of need that. So it's intuitive, and we can obviously predict. We can have complex enough thought to predict the future or to visualize a future. So it seems intuitive that time is moving in a line, but I just don't think that's the case personally. If God existed, he would prefer atheist people over these religious ones. Yeah, we're not the ones like trying to take away people's health care or you know, fuck with fuck with people's identity or right to identity or you know, oppose warming centers for some odd reason. So you don't have faith, confidence that he isn't real. I mean, confidence that he isn't real is kind of an interesting term there. It's just like, and I really don't want to sandbag, just trying to like burn shift off of myself, but I see how messy this gets because I talk to a lot of dishonest people, like so many. So it's like confidence that he isn't real. I think it's just like like realistically speaking, like what does that even mean? Am I confident that like something with no evidence for it isn't real? Sure. I mean, in that regard, sure. But yeah. And from the way you explain the shift of the worldview, you sound like you believe in Spinoza's God. I mean, I just don't call the universe or its forces or anything like that to be a God. I think that the word universe works just well enough to explain phenomena. Surely have faith and confidence he isn't real. You know what? Sure, why not? Let's watch where this goes. Well, in general relativity, time and space are intertwined. If space started, then time also started. There's no point before the Big Bang, argued by Stephen Hawking in the singularity theorem. I mean, let me just pull up the source. Why not? Because I don't think people are gonna believe me. So, let's see what we got here. Misconceptions. How do I do this? Ugh. Ugh. It's a weird way I gotta do this. See here, still none of us can explain how something can exist without a beginning. Life as we know it, and even if it has a beginning, how if it came out of nothing, it simply defies logic. I think logic in that things are what they are, things aren't what they are, and there's no middle ground between it is self-evidently true. So, I don't necessarily believe that things can defy logic as we know it, or at the very least, I haven't seen an instance of it. So I don't know. I don't really. I hold out reservation on it. Big Bang is irrelevant. In what regard? Based on the evidence I've been provided, I'm confident the claims about God's existence are incorrect, flawed at the very least. There you go. Yeah, if you want to call that faith, I mean, it's your prerogative. Have at it. It's your ball. Play with it. I would have an easier time believing in God if the God that was described didn't sound like such a monster. And I would agree with that for sure. At the very least, not even so much like just the claims about like the bad claims about his morality on their face, like with nothing else, but what makes it harder for me is like these claims like these awful claims, like the fact that he condoned slavery, the fact that he condoned sexual assault. I mean, I could say rape on YouTube. The fact that he condoned rape on you, the fact that he condoned rape, the fact that he committed genocide and commanded infanticide, um, which is incongruent with people saying that he is all just, he is all good, when we can otherwise agree on what justice and goodness are. So that's the logical incongruency between that. Is more so what makes it harder for me to believe. Not because like if it was just the fact that God exists but he's a piece of shit, like I wouldn't find anything like explanatorily wrong with that. Also, side note, Pascal's wager is complete BS because Christianity isn't the only religion. So you basically just throw in darts on the board if you pick a religion to worship. Yeah, exactly. It's just like information hazard BS. It's like Rocco's basilisk, basically, if you know what that is. Uh, wait one second. God is a relation concept. To say there's no God is the same as saying there's no pork. We only give pork a name. God is merely a name for a phenomenon. I think everything is good. I think everything is God, universe, whatever. I mean, if you're a pantheist, by all means, go for it. I'm not knocking you for it if you want to call like everything God or like assign that name to existence in and of itself. Then I mean, I'm not knocking you for it necessarily, but I would ask that you don't knock me for choosing a more intentional words. The fire real? No, the fire's not real. It's just a gif. A gif? A gif? GIF? I don't know. The fact that even if there was a creator, that creator perhaps is some sort of creature, a monster, nothing like all loving God we heard about, I find it disturbing and interesting. Yeah, absolutely. Picking a neutral option of atheism will make you at least more safe than picking religion, because if your God turns out to be fake, then the real God will be more pissed if you did nothing. Yeah, exactly. If the God that exists so happens to value people not believing in anything more than it values people believing in the wrong God, then I mean, we're good to go, and all the Christians and Muslims and Hindus are fucked. So, Paul's letters and the Gospels are the most influential, revolutionary, impactful pieces of writing in the ancient world, especially international law. I think that's going to happen if Romans go around the world colonizing everything. So, I mean, sure, but I'm not sure what you want me to do with that. I never understood Black and Indigenous people adopting Christianity. You know, it's fun story. Opinion parade. Yeah, opinion parade. I'm half Black. I'm a quarter Native American. Blackfoot, and a quarter Polish. Obviously, like I won't say obviously, but my white grandmother, her family immigrated long before World War II, so it's not like they immigrated like from surviving the Holocaust or anything, nor were they Jewish, but you know, the fact of the matter is, like, they were Polish. So I'm the fact that if people think that I'm gonna worship the God of my oppressors or my killers, or my family's killers, the people that killed, like, the countrymen of my family, then I don't know what to tell them. May Allah guide you. No thanks. What makes you atheist? What's your story in brief? Was a Christian for 19 years. Read the Bible, looked at the evidence for it, looked at the evidence for God in particular, and then found none of it convincing. Don't the natives have similar tongue to the Hebrews? Not really. Not really. Like, I don't know if any sort of like indigenous language. Obviously, my my grandma didn't speak it, so it's all English speakers. As far back as I've gone with family history, like, they were all English speakers. So obviously, we didn't go back far enough. God does not need you to pray to him. He just teaches the way of life of a human being instead of animals. Does not need you to pray to him. He just teaches the way of life of a human being instead of animals. That's a claim for sure. I'll give you a free one. If God has a plan, then what's the point of prayer? There's already a plan, right? So your prayers do nothing. Yeah, prayer is a weird one. I don't know why so many people do it. It's odd to me, but helps you work. I mean, helps you sleep at night. Sure, go for it. But yeah, what's up, Nun22? How you doing? Hate the fact that some religions treat people who are not in the same religion as bad people, and they would suffer later. Yeah, it's just coercion. If there is no punishment coming for people who don't believe in it, then there's no incentive to believe in it. So gotta kind of ham fist that in. Oh, let's see here. Takes Bible verses out of context and assumes Big Bang disproves creationism. I mean, if we can put words in my mouth, sure, but it's kind of fun. Here's another reason why I can't respect Christians or Muslims in particular. Is like, instead of simply looking at the book for what it says and looking at the words on the page and looking at the context of the people that believed in it, the people that wrote it, they'd rather just sit here and lie to my face, to my hypothetical face, about things not being what they are. If I say God condones slavery based on the fact that God himself, taught, like, well, through Moses in Exodus, but himself in Leviticus, said how to beat your slaves, how to treat your slaves, how harshly you can beat them before you to be punished. what kind of slavery is permissible for people of your fellow nation versus people outside of it, then I'll just be like, oh, out of context, God's perfect, God great. But let it be in a verse where it's like John 3:16, for God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son, yada yada yada. And it's like, oh, that's not out of context. Yeah, amen. Yeah, awesome stuff. It's just like all the good stuff in context, don't read into it further. All the bad stuff out of context, lie about it. Fuck off, man. It's one of the big reasons I can't stand talking to Christians and Muslims sometimes. But I mean, what are you gonna do? I get their faith is contingent on it, I really do, but it's like it gets exhausting after a while. The biblical character of God directly tells Christians in the text he's the source of all evil. Yeah, Isaiah chapter 45 verse 7. I'll even look it up real quick in RSV to make sure it's the it's close to the original as we have available. I form light and create darkness. I make weal and create woe. I, the Lord, do all these things. Some say evil, some say calamity, but the idea is still the same. God is the arbiter of everything good and everything bad. And I mean, if you believe God's all powerful and that God was the first thing to exist before anything else, then I mean, just logically speaking, you'd have to agree with that too. But let's watch them lie about it because they can't stand the idea of God being awful in some way, or they feel like they have to in order to not get punished for it. God teaches us how to treat people in slavery properly doesn't mean he condones it. He explicitly says it's a sin and it's punishable. Then by that logic, he could have just said like, oh, I permit you to murder each other, just don't, slice each other's throat. You can only stab them in the chest. But no, he says, thou shalt not murder or thou shalt not kill. Explicitly, I don't permit you to do this sin, therefore don't do it. So, you know why I don't say God condones murder or condones killing or condones theft or condones adultery? Because it explicitly says in the Bible, and not only the Ten Commandments, but other parts of Leviticus and Exodus, that these are things that God doesn't want you to do. So, if he couldn't do the same for slavery, then yes, he does condone it. You could say he didn't condone people beating their slaves so severely that they didn't get up after 2 days. Sure, I'll give you that one. But to say he didn't condone slavery in the slightest just because he quote unquote gave guidelines for it is one of the most intellectually dishonest arguments I've ever heard. In the end, it's not worth the risk. If there's God, he just wants you to live like a human rather than animals. That's enough. I mean, technically am an animal, so I mean, I don't know. There's no hell or heaven after you die. I agree. I don't think there's anything up there, nothing above, nothing below. We're just here. That's cool. Clickbait title? Yes, that's literally the whole point. I'm not even joking. Yes, I'm being completely honest about it. Yes, I am a content creator and would enjoy if people clicked my stream. Yes, that's how that works. Correct. That's literally how content creation goes. I don't know how to tell you on that one. Like, oh, let me just make a make my title like, oh, Glipple or some shit and expect people to click it and want to stay in it. No, it's not how that works. Stop conflating murder and killing. That's if we're going to just ignore what I said and just like go off a non-point, then you can probably get the fuck out. If you read the Bible as if God is actually the devil, it actually starts to make a lot of sense. Yeah, it makes perfect sense to me that the devil would destroy somebody's family on a bet or genocide an entire species of people and multiple other species just because he made them incorrectly. But call it God and all of a sudden, well, it's out of context. They were evil and he gave Job's family like a new family and just all this other BS. What made you swap? I looked for evidence and found all of it unconvincing. Do you have any parents? They are very religious. I do and too believe there is no God, but I don't want to disappoint my parents, so I kept quiet. How'd you have the courage to become an atheist? I have a mom. We're no contact, so I mean I don't talk to her anymore. But back when I did tell her I was non-religious, and she didn't take it too well. How did I get the courage to? I mean, for me, I just had to be true to myself. I was like, okay, I go to church every Sunday. I haven't been to church in a while. There's a reason I'm not going. My family still expects like, prayer. They still talk as if there is a God. They still expect like, all this extra stuff. So I'm like, I gotta let them know eventually. This is just not what I believe in anymore. So that's where I got the courage to tell him I was an atheist. As far as my dad, I don't think he ever found out before he died. Click me beneath the milky twilight. Read me on the midnight floor. I had a friend recently that killed herself, and she was that was her favorite song. Rest in peace, Natasha. I miss you. You're funny. No God, no God. It is what it is. If God changes it, there would be not be any conflict, and there would be nothing. I'd say there'd be no conflict, sure, but I mean, I'm not seeing how that's a bad thing. If there's a deity that can directly help you if you did specific rituals, surely that information will be kept for the rich slash powerful, and the rest of us will be given a fake version. Exactly, man. Exactly. Maybe that's just the truth. Is that there is a God out there, but they're only handing it down via like generations to billionaires and shit, or I don't know, just random actors that they like, and random musicians or random politicians. I don't know. What do you actually believe in? Religiously speaking, nothing. I'm an atheist. I don't believe in anything supernatural or divine or supernatural, divine, paranormal, magical, spiritual, anything like that. Welcome in, Joking James. Good to see you. I see it pretty simply, honestly. If God presents with evil, and He does, and the evil in a man is inherent, the divine to me, and then it's then just a way to understand others and myself more. That's a cope for sure. I'm not saying that to be sarcastic. That's a cope. I'm not knocking you for it for sure. Would you actually debate me sometime if any of these topics, Discord or whatever works? You can join my Discord. I have a debate channel in there, but if you're talking about like a I'll get to you like whatever. Oh, you got to be 18 or over to join it. By the way, I got to throw that out there. I don't want to have a server where kids have access to adults. I feel like that's a risk at worst and kind of icky at best. But yeah, I talk to people in there. There's a debate channel. But if you're talking about just like on stream, making a whole big like song and dance and performance, I mean, just no, I don't really do that. Imagine you're trying to eat burger and asking them for evidence if they actually didn't put poison. Huh? I don't what? Trying to ask the people that made the burger like for evidence that they didn't poison it. Or is it a restaurant? Is the restaurant? Do they have like customers? Right? Like if it's a Five Guys, I can inductively, I can at least deduce that my burger isn't poisoned, right? If if people are able to come in and like order from them and get their food and not drop dead and not have it pinned to a Five Guys, then there's no cases against it about poisoning the burgers. I have no reason to question it. But if we're going to claim that there was a God that came down to earth as a man and got crucified and rose from the dead and was born of a virgin, and there was we're all descended from two people, then I'm going to need some to see the Carfax on that. I am still live. I'm probably gonna be live for I don't know how much longer. I don't know. It's I'm probably not going to work today, to be honest. I really just need a break, dude. It's one of those times where I need a break from work in particular. I'll probably take a day off and get really, really stoned. Just, I don't know, do whatever the fuck. Plus, my birthday's tomorrow. I don't know, man. None of us are disbelievers by birth, just confused. I say we are. We if you just raise a baby without religion and see what they end up knowing. See here, everything have a creator, universe, and humans. Nature is created by Allah. That's a special pleading fallacy because you believe that the universe was created, even though there's no evidence one way or the other about it, and then just like thinking a creator wasn't created. It's just you believe in something that exists without needing a creator, and it's responsible for everything existing because everything needs a creator. Like, make it make sense. I think you get a video out of it at the very least. And probably. What's your Discord? Is in your channel bio. Yeah, just go to my channel. Matter of fact, let me just chill for myself really quickly. Firstly, subscribe. Make sure to subscribe if this is your type of content. If not, completely fine. I get it. It's, nice knowing you. But if this is your type of content, subscribe. Why not? It won't hurt, right? You'll be all right. If you want to check out my other socials, go to my channel. Go to the little link under my about section. That's where you'll find both of my TikToks, my main and my backup. I just got banned from suspended from streaming on my main, so I'm gonna be on my backup for the next week. Got a Twitter, got a Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, Kick, Trovo. I got a Discord you can join. I got a Snapchat you can add if you want to support the stream. All that stuff's in there. Yeah, that's all that. You know, that's all there is to that. Got like other stuff like Threads and Clapper and Lemonade and all these other random whatever the fucks, but yeah, all the stuff in there by all means. You acknowledge he exists if you deny he exists. Darren, I'll be honest with you, that's the most stupid thing I've heard all night. And I've heard some really stupid things tonight. Most atheists are forced to find their own meaning in life, so it's not meaningless. I mean, I think that's most people in general, right? I would agree with that. Jesus was just a cult leader. Plenty of people have tried the Christ grift. Yeah, in particular, Jim Jones is one of them. And we saw how that ended in 1978. How do you handle the meaninglessness and absurdity of life as an atheist, especially since life is transient like a leaf in the wind? I mean, I just don't. I think meaning is an illusion. I think that the idea, like, obviously, I don't believe in an objective meaning, but I feel like even the desire to want your life to mean something outside of your life is just. I mean, I'm not knocking anybody for it. I do too, you know, obviously, but I think it's just this inherent thing that we have because we have egos and we don't want to can't comprehend the idea of us just being a result of a planet and a rotating around a random star in a random galaxy in an otherwise uncaring universe, right? For me personally, what helped a lot with it, I'm not recommending anybody do this, by the way, but I'm saying what got me over it was a lot of psychedelics for sure. I've done LSD, psilocybin, like mushrooms and truffles, DMT, 2CB, 2CE, peyote, and done things like that, and that's kind of really changed my perspective on things quite a bit. I just don't think of myself as objectively important, or say subjectively, but objectively important enough to have an issue with the idea that I'm just on this planet doing my thing until the day I die. How do you explain change occurring in the universe? Was there an initial cause, or has it been eternally infinite? I think it's been eternally infinite, and that I think it's always existed. I don't believe I don't believe that time is a line, so I don't subscribe. Like, I don't. It solves the idea that there can't be an infinite amount of causes within that line to get us to it. Like, notice every analogy that kind of shoots the idea of an eternal universe in the foot or an eternal temporal existence in the foot. It's that they always presuppose that it's a line, right? Like the train station analogy presupposes that the train starts somewhere and then explains why it can't get to somewhere that's infinitely far away. But I think if, like, how do I best explain it? Time is like a stick that you're holding in your hand that extends infinitely in both directions, and your hand is the present. It extends infinitely both ways, and the fact that you think that you can go one way or the other way is just an illusion. How do you explain your own existence? My parents fucked 29 years ago. All religions are dead without Islam. There must be a reason when someone read Quran and study Islam, they revert. You should too. After that, it's your decision. I've read the Quran. I got done reading it about a month ago. I shit you not. I've read the whole thing. What is it? An-Nisa 1:1 to I know it's the 114th surah. I forget the name of it, but 114:6. I've read the entire thing front to back, and I say front to back. It was digital, but I don't have a physical Quran. But yeah, it's Islam is not for me. I'll end it at that. What proof are you looking for? What do you mean by evidence? I think evidence and proof are things that show that things are a way and that they're not another way. If I wanted to provide, say, evidence that a keyboard's on my desk, I would show you the keyboard on my desk, or I would argue that a keyboard is on my desk, and that argument will have to be sound and not have any fallacies or baseless presuppositions. But right now, like, the evidence of the keyboard on my desk is the fact that there's a keyboard on my desk. So, conversely, if there's a God, the fact that there is a God should be supported by you showing me a God in some way, either logically or evidentially, in some way, like historically, archaeologically. But until somebody does that, I'm going to be an atheist. You do understand that it's more parsimonious to conclude that time is linear based off of empirical and anecdotal evidence that is derived from our own experiences. I mean, when you're talking about parsimony, you're getting into something that's inherently subjective. So for you, if it's parsimonious, I'll even go so far as to say, like, for the general person, it's parsimonious, it's intuitive, absolutely. But for me, it's, I mean, I have no reason to think that way. I can go off of my experiences, like my memories and shit, and like my ability to predict the future, not accurately, but predict it or visualize the future. But that's just an illusion from my mind, because otherwise, I'm just like, as part of being able to complexly think. There's a lot of plagiarism in the Quran. I noticed that when I read it. Yeah, I haven't, to be honest with you, like, past was like literally reading what it says and then just like saying, well, I've read it and calling it a day. I haven't looked into like apologetics for it or anything like that, because Muslims have a really, really bad habit of lying their nuts off about contradictions and scientific inaccuracies. How do you call yourself an atheist when you're there reading holy text? Your disbelief is weak. I personally don't believe in anything anymore. How can you say my disbelief is weak? What the fuck's that even mean? My lack of belief is weak? Or are you talking about like I'm not committed enough to being an atheist from reading holy books? Like, if you think that atheism requires a level of commitment that you don't have to educate yourself or like get familiar with the claims of the people that talk to you, then I mean, sure, but yeah, I would disagree. I think that's lazy, especially if you're in my position where you like want to talk about religion and you want to better understand the people that you're talking to. Many people do good because they want heaven or are afraid of hellfire. That is in essence flawed as well. I would do good for the good thing, not for a reward or punishment. Same. And I think the fact that, here's the thing, I think that most people do things for their own reasons and not for hellfire or reward, because there's two things true. That there are Christians out there raping kids and deporting people or cheering on deportations and doing a bunch of like, calling gay people awful, awful things. But, and they think that there's a potential punishment for them doing that, and yet they can't stop themselves. And conversely, there's atheists out there doing good things, community support. Now, obviously, there's Christians doing great things. There's atheists doing awful things. Let's not bullshit each other, right? But the fact that people who do believe can believe in a punishment or reward and still do whatever they want to shows that their motivations are most times just fueled by whatever they want. And so that's going to be more powerful than the idea of like hellfire. So I think I'm just not cynical in that regard. I think most people desire to do good because most people are decent, and that the people who are bad aren't being kept in check by some book. And the fact that there's so many Catholic churches out there that need sexual assault claims insurance is kind of proves that. Atheism is merely lack of belief in a god or gods, and many reasons to be an atheist, but also you don't need a reason to at all. Yeah, exactly. That part. When in the Bible they say that there was water and blood coming out from Jesus when a Roman pierced his chest, is physically possible because when the body is dead, it can make water in the lungs. Proof. I mean, dude, if we're gonna talk about somebody who was born of a virgin or rose from the dead, like, I'm not gonna slice over something so irrelevant. Islam fear their God more than any other religion. It's not faith for them. Yeah, and I would fear that motherfucker too if I believed he was real. There was a verse in, I think it was fourth surah, that said that Allah would give people new skin if he's punishing them, like, if they're in hell or whatever, he would give them new skin just so it could be burnt off again. Like, it's just an eternal cycle of getting your skin burnt off, giving new skin, getting it burnt off. That is barbaric, dude. Bar fucking baric. And also the fact that they feel the need to lie so persistently about their religion shows that it's far beyond just believing it to be perfect. Any ex-Christian here experienced the Holy Spirit when they believed it, so how do you explain this retroactively as a non-believer now? Euphoria, validation that I was getting in the moment, the music and all the vibes and stuff, basically. Dopamine release, I'd call that the Holy Spirit, but I don't, that's how I reconcile. I think it's just a feeling rather than like some supernatural force that's making you feel the things. Have you read Descartes? I have not read Descartes. I'm not really huge into classical philosophy, honestly, or even modern philosophy. I think philosophy is just like, I'm just too pragmatic for it, honestly. There's a God who didn't spawn in this world. I mean, if you count my birth as a spawn, sure, but yeah, I mean, I'm not seeing how me being birth equals a God. You don't need logic to believe. Most people in tribes won't believe if you tell them you can call someone with a metal rectangle. Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair take. Won't lie to you. Were you one of those really hectic Christians where you try and make people convert, like just like those? I'm guessing Jehovah's Witness. Yeah, I was one of those. I wasn't like door to door, but on Sundays, before the service, like I was definitely out there, Bible in hand, waiting for people to walk by with a couple other people. I was one of those people. It was really annoying, interrupting people's day for religion they were most likely already a part of. Yeah, I regret it. I regret it. Cynical, lazy materialist reductionism. I mean, you're welcome to your opinion. I'm not going to take that from you. Jesus was almost factually an historical person who actually existed, and I grant his existence. I mean, I don't see a reason not to, but I'm failing to see how a person existed means rose from the dead. If we want to, if you have to show me somebody being able to rise from the dead. If it's just like the one person, sure, but show me evidence that they did so, and the verdict is still out on such a thing. I mean, same reason I grant Muhammad's existence. I think Muhammad definitely was a person, absolutely. But was he given the Quran from the angel Gabriel to disseminate to the world? I'd say absolutely not. Tell me about Sweden. I'm not from Sweden. I'm from the U.S., but I mean, I know their capital is Stockholm. I know where it is on a map. I know their flag is a yellow cross inside of a like a light blue rectangle. I know that much, but yeah. Seeking to convert humanity to your religion is literally a world domination plot. I oppose that. Exactly. And I think that's really consistent with the fact that Romans ran around the planet colonizing everything. The truth is, it is better to believe in God even if it doesn't exist. I disagree personally, or at least with as it relates to my life. I find that not believing in a God is what makes the most sense to me based on the evidence presented. So that's by extension going to be what's easier for me. Uh, the evidence is the eyewitness testimonies of people with nothing to gain died in horrible and torturous ways, but still held on to claiming what they saw to the Romans. Yeah, I mean, show me contemporary evidence for the apostles' martyrdom, and even beside that, like, show me how that's not conflated with what happened on 9/11 or in like in Georgetown, Guyana, in November 1978, and then sure, I'll give it more credence. I got a friend like that who cries every time we joke with him and says God ain't real. It's kind of crazy to see someone act in such a way. Yeah, I wouldn't have cried, but I would have been like, respectfully, been like, okay, let me, well, have a great rest of your day, and I'll pray for you, and all that, like passive aggressive bullshit that people like to do. That definitely would have been me. Do you feel guilty? I don't feel guilty anymore. I used to, though. That's definitely not anymore, though. A book saying God said such and such isn't proof. It's a claim you can't use the book to prove the book. Exactly. I don't know why people don't get that. I wouldn't make an analogy Harry Potter, Spider Man at this point, but I feel like they get it and they're just being dishonest. That's just me being cynical, though. What historical evidence do you have from 2,000 years ago in general that isn't testimony? Nothing really. That's kind of my point. The difference between the testimonies of other people existing from back in that time period versus a person who was claimed to do things supernatural is that they were claimed to do things supernatural, right? Like, let's say there was no good, like let's just wipe away all the evidence for, say, I don't know, Napoleon. Let's wipe it out. Let's pretend there's no letters. Let's pretend there's no portraits. Let's pretend there's no documents. Let's just wipe it away. Clean slate real quick, right? There's no supernatural claims about Napoleon. So if it were possible that he didn't exist or he was made up, I'd have no reason to question it, right? Is it possible? Sure. Assuming that there's no otherwise evidence for him. Is it possible? Sure. But do I have any reason to entertain it or mull over it? No. Because oh, a king of France isn't that far fetched. But if you want to claim somebody was born from only one person, just their mom, and that they rose from the dead with the Son of God and can like not what's the word I'm looking for? I'll say multiply fish and bread and shit. Then you're gonna need to show me that. Report it for hate. Go for it. Let's see where he gets you. Guy still preaching in public just against God now. I wouldn't call this preaching necessarily, but I see where you're coming from. If God exists and I meet that character someday, it will understand why I didn't believe. By definition, an all-knowing God must know my personal thoughts and reasoning. It would have made me that way. Exactly. That was kind of what I was getting at with the free will debate I was having with somebody else earlier. But I mean, when you have a whole religion that's contingent upon everything being your fault, then he wasn't going to hear out the logical issues with free will under Christianity. I respect anyone who believes that eggs reign supreme. I love eggs, but man, they're getting so goddamn expensive now. I mean, I can still afford them, but it's like I feel like a fucking idiot paying $5-6 for a carton. Do I believe Trodoon existed? I'll be honest, I don't even know who that is. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? Speaking evolutionarily, like with the egg came first, because what laid the egg was a species that had enough traits of a chicken but couldn't quite be called a chicken. Like it was had just enough of its traits to be able to reproduce and be called an ancestor of the chicken. But when the chicken was laid, like, and it can reproduce with further offspring, that's when it was able to be called a chicken. But that came out of an egg, so technically the egg came first. You raise me up. Do I believe in objective truth? I think like objective truth, like mind independent truth, I think by the very nature of the word truth, no. But do I believe there are things that are true no matter no matter what somebody's personal conviction about it is? Sure. Jesus was technically a lich. I mean, uh, Muhammad, my friend, it's time to tell the world we both know. Oh, wait, I don't know, you're talking to somebody else. Is there anything you miss from being a believer, i.e., the idea that you'll see loved ones again some way or a sense of community? Both of those things, absolutely. Yeah, I miss the routine. I miss I miss some of my friends from church. A lot of them fizzled out after I left. I didn't. They were either like not good enough friends that I didn't keep up with them after I left church, or they were good enough friends that I felt the need to tell them, and it just like they saw me as a project afterwards. So um, I miss them, or at least the friendship we had, I suppose. Um, yeah, I miss being able to. 'Cause I've lost so many people. Like my dad's dead, all my grandparents are dead. Friends, I've lost plenty of friends and shit. So it was cool thinking, okay, I get to see all these people again. That was awesome. But I mean, yeah, I miss those things. It was kind of really fucked up, but like that little twinge of self righteousness that people have, I miss that a little bit. So it's kind of fucked up to say, but when you have an ego, you're gonna like everything that makes you feel like you're superior to other people, and that's very demonstrable in the chat too. So yeah, I don't know. I miss a lot of different things, but would I go back? No. Do you believe there's objectively right and wrong to everything, regardless of subjective opinion? And I really hate to sandbag. I'm not trying to sandbag, but I don't know if you're trying to run the transcendental argument or the moral argument when you say right or wrong. Like right or wrong as in correct and incorrect, or right or wrong as in morally good or morally bad. Because like I've talked to so many Christians or people that run both of those that um when they say right and wrong guy, they mean two different things, and a lot of them, like the more dishonest ones, try to switch hit between the two. Do I prefer scrambled or sunny side up? Sunny side up. It's all about that runny yolk, dude, for sure. Is your relationship with your mother strained because of your atheism? No, it's strained because she's a narcissist, and if I went over the whole story, I'm not gonna trauma dump, but yeah, it's she has NPD, and so that's what kind of fucked it up. What made you change your belief on God? I just Cards of Baggy. Wait, are you from the Philippines? I want to move to the Philippines eventually. I fucking love the Filipinos, dude. They're the kindest people on the planet, man. Just I love them to death. Um, but anyway, what made me change to my belief on God? I just looked for evidence that God existed and found none of it convincing. That's why I changed. I looked for evidence. The evidence sucked. So yeah. Yes, yeah, I do want to check out the Philippines eventually. If not live there. Baguio's a really not cold city, but the weather's nice there, isn't it? Should be, yeah, it should be really nice this time of year. up in the mountains and shit. Uh, Not a Christian, just a philosophy minor. Did you answer or did I miss it? I probably missed it. No, I didn't miss it. Let's see here. When exactly did you stop being a baby and become a child? That's a good example of how evolution works. There's no exact point you can point to. Yeah, technically. Just as far as speciation works, like it wasn't drastic at all with the chicken and the egg analogy, but I mean the first, like what we can, like the first organism that would have been able to be classified as a chicken didn't hatch from an egg, so yeah, by all technicality. So I hate egg breath. I have to brush my teeth after eggs just to get the smell away. Yeah, I don't really like egg breath. It's not as bad as like garlic breath, but it's pretty bad, especially if they're scrambled. Something about like I don't know the way that the yolks and the whites, like if you scramble them, really really does something. They even smell different when you cook them. Why you not replying to me, bro? There's currently, oh my goodness, 123 people in here, so I do apologize if I'm not replying to you, but I'm trying my best. Also, let me pin my links real quick. Let me pin my links. Let me pin the old linkaroos. In case y'all want to find my other things. There we go. If nobody else is gonna put you over, you gotta put yourself over. Remember that. Point of chicken and egg isn't to address the actual biology, but to question the origination of the causal chain of events. I mean, when we're talking about like, I mean, otherwise, sure, yeah, obviously, but you know, doing this so much, like people mostly are asking me that question to like with an evolutionary, to get an evolutionary standpoint on it. That's why I answered it such a way. Seriously, when something is wide stream or too popular, I try everything to expose and criticize it. Expose and criticize it. Tell me, does that feel good? What were you talking about? If you took a book and had 100 people read it, then destroyed the book and had all 100 people rewrite it from memory, no, it would be the same truth as subjective collective illusion we believe in. Yeah, ultimately. Unless it's like, I'd say like the more ontologically complex something is, the more subjective it gets. Like the events surrounding the story of the birth and death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. But if it's something ontologically simple, like an apple is red or this particular species of apple is red, then I mean, you know, I think that gets a little bit less subjective. Still ultimately subjective if we're talking about even having to use a mind to come to such a conclusion, but, you know, a lot more simple. Is consciousness just a byproduct of the evolution of our brains? I think so, personally. That's where all the evidence leads me. I think chicken got evolved from an organism in such a way that they lay eggs. I mean, yeah, I would. I mean, the prior, common ancestor, not common, the most recent ancestor to chickens didn't lay eggs too. So I don't know. I would define objective truth as 2 + 2 = 4. I believe every question and every potential question has an objective, truthful answer. You can call it morals, but that's too narrow. Yeah, I'm glad you're not going a moral route because I'm so sick of talking about secular sources of morality. But I'd say that there is an objective truth in that there are like once we otherwise agree on the definitions of things, then you could say that the truth becomes absolute. But to say objective, I think it would be like the not the most intentionally useful word there, if that makes sense. Have you ever heard the argument made against evolution using the Bombardier beetle? No, no, I haven't. Do you believe that other than gods, that other forces exist like karma, fate, and improbable circumstances? Improbable circumstances, absolutely. I think that things that are possible but improbable can still actualize. I mean, you know, it happens when somebody wins the lottery, right? Fate, kind of, but not really. I'm a determinist in that I think that the causal chain of the universe can't be stopped. Like everything is going to cause a reaction that's going to cause a reaction. It's going to cause a reaction. We're all just dominoes falling, but I don't think it's actualized yet, and I don't think it ever will be actualized until we get there. So, in that regard, no, because like I'm subscribed to a B theory of time, and karma, absolutely not. I don't believe in karma. I think I think karma is just something made up by people to feel like there's going to be justice in our reality. We can call it absolute truth. That's her. Okay, yeah, I think some things are absolutely truth, absolutely true for sure. Like I think if we define two to be what we can agree on it to be, and four, if we can agree on the definition of two and equals, and two and four and equals, and all these things, and plus, I forgot about plus, but then I'd say it's absolutely true that 2 plus 2 equals 4. But yeah, there we go. 6 a.m. respect the hustle. Yeah, I'm just gonna take a break off from work. You know, I got a lot of they hand PTO out like candy because the turnover rate is so high, and I guess that's the way like trying to keep people around for attendance. But I got a lot of PTO saved up. I might just take a couple days. Plus my birthday's tomorrow, so I might take today off. I might take tomorrow off too. Might just take the rest of the week off. Fuck it, just get a 5-day weekend. Why not? Who cares? I don't know. When you're here's the thing that I love about being an adult. You can just do things. You can just do things. You know, and it's kind of weird to say that like this far into adulthood. I turn 29 tomorrow, but yeah, it's just like I think about it a lot. It's just I don't know. It's just, recently I was on the highway. I was driving, and I'm sitting there. It's like on the highway, you know, hitting 65 or whatever, or the freeway, but I'm doing 65 or whatever somewhere in there. And I was thinking about how fast I'm going. I was like, shit, like it hit me for a second, like shit, I can just do things. I know how to drive. I can just do the thing. And sure enough, like, yeah, did the thing. It's weird. I feel like that comes from a lot of like age maladjustment though. I do think I'm maladjusted because of my childhood, but yeah, if you have the money for things that you want, you can just buy the thing and the thing shows up and there you go. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't know. It's freeing to think like that. Uh, Even something as simple as the statement "the apple is red" depends on your definition of red. Are you colorblind? Is it the same red I see? Do we only color red because it's what most people agree on? Fair points, all fair points. I'll give you that one. Can I ask where you're from? I'm from the United States. I'm from the state of Michigan. I'll say it. Fuck it. Yeah, I'm from Michigan. I'm born and raised. Used to live in Ohio, but moved back to Michigan after I got done in Ohio. Why atheism and not agnosticism? I'm an atheist and an agnostic. I don't believe that there is a God, but I don't know if there's a God or not. I feel like something that created our reality and that's doesn't have to abide by the laws of our reality would be unknowable. So, you know, I just hold out reservation on it. I feel like it's gonna be I'm gonna die not knowing it. I feel everybody's gonna die not knowing it. But ask me like, given the evidence, what am I convinced of? I'd say I'm convinced that there's nothing up there. Your girlfriend's about to move there? Tell her don't. It gets cold in the winter. I can't. That's part of the reason I want to move away. It's like if I had the money for it, I'm moving to New Mexico or something. I can't stand the cold up here anymore. It's like the summers are good, obviously. The springs are okay. The fall's a little nippy, but the winters are just fucked, dude. I can't stand these winters. Maybe it's because we're so close to the lake, but yeah, can't stand it. The Bombardier Beetle question is kind of silly because whoever asking it does something about the fact that they already have acid filled pouch that's called their stomach. I'm not sure what the evolutionary criticism via the Bombardier Beetle is though. So, or the Bombardier Beetle, I don't know, but not entirely sure. God is a way to make humans fear something that's stronger than oneself. Yeah, that's among many reasons, among many things. Yeah, absolutely. Congrats on leaving Christianity. It's hard. Yeah, it was a rough one. It was a rough one, but thank you for the kind words. Go to the Caribbean. If I'm moving out of the country, I'm going to the Philippines because kinder people, cheaper prices, infrastructure like a lot of Caribbean countries don't really have, unless you're like in their capital. But even then, that gets a little dicey. Um, but if like when I move out of state, I'm probably going to like New Mexico or something. I feel like that'll be right up my alley. Texas is just Texas is a mess. Arizona's a mess. California's an expensive mess. Not much to do in Nevada. Yeah, probably New Mexico. Obviously the South, like more eastern, where it is, that's all a mess. So yeah. Kamusta ka, kamusta ka. Hey. I don't speak a lot of Tagalog, but yeah, kamusta ka. Um, no, that's anong pangalang mo. Is that how you say it? Like, I don't know. Hard to breathe up on your high horse. No, I have asthma. We need compassion for each other. We're all just looking for meaning, and we live in societies that should be praised on how it treats its religious neighbors. Yeah, I think if the world were a lot more compassionate, we'd get a lot more done. Why is Texas a mess? Oh man, where do I start? Here's it's oh man, where do I start? Don't know how to deal with the cold. Um, you know, whole thing with Mexico right there. There's the political leanings of most of the counties in not Mexico, Texas. Yeah, it's not looking too good. It was nice and interesting chat. I gotta go now. Goodbye. Have a good rest of your night, Zay. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, Camus. Yeah, I'm familiar with Camusta, and I only know a couple words like Maserap and you know things like that. He has no clue about anything else other than Christianity. Reading one religion and deciding it's stupid, so I'll be an atheist. That's ridiculous. Now I'm gonna explain how it works real quick. Imagine only knowing one thing, right? And then saying, "Oh, the one thing I know is false." And instead of thinking, "Oh, I dedicated myself to this one thing. Let me jump into another thing that could also be false." You think, okay, well, there's no evidence of this thing. The mode that I used to decipher whether or not there was evidence for this thing applies to other religions. Therefore, I don't believe in any of the things. So that's what I did. But if you want to argue that I should have just like I don't know, it's such a weird argument because it's like imagine a slave gets free. You unshackle it. You give it its paper. You give them you give them their papers and you unshackle them and you say like give them some clothes, some money, and say like okay, go among your way, right? And then they're just like okay, and then just what do they do? Immediately go to a different plantation. Would that make any sense? You know. Real question: why atheist, not agnostic? Atheism would require proof of nothing. Agnostic says there's no proof of anything. Proof of nothing is a weird. I don't know where you got that one from, but I'm both agnostic and an atheist. I don't know if there's a God or not, but I don't believe in a God. Agnosticism talks about your knowledge. Atheism talks about your belief. Knowledge and belief are two different things. Therefore, knowledge and belief are not mutually exclusive. I don't know. Yes, aggressive non-belief. Good for you, Lady Douche. Douche? I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to be sarcastic against people that either aren't tracking or just trying to be antagonistic. If you don't like it, fuck off. What the hell would there be one atom out of nowhere causing an explosion which creates more atoms? That's not what the Big Bang claims. The Big Bang is literally just, and I'll even show you the source if you want me to, but universe expanded from a hot dense state. That's it. That's it. That's all there is to it. Universe was small and hot, expanded, and there you go. Cooled down into what we know as matter and hydrogen. Hydrogen fused, formed other elements. That's literally it. That's all. That's all there is to it. It's not one atom turning into other atoms. It's not something from nothing. It's not what other bullshit y'all say. Two atoms colliding into each other. It's none of that. None of those things. It's just universe expanded from a hot dense state. That's literally it. That's all there is. Respect eggs. I do love a good egg, man. What's up, Ming Boat? How we doing? What do you think about Pope Francis's death? I don't have any positive or negative feelings about it. I mean, rest in peace. Dude died. I didn't know enough about the previous popes to have any sort of opinion about it in relation to his papacy versus the other one. So, no comment. Just rest in peace, I guess. Do you think everything in the universe just happened in coincidence to create life? Yeah, I think that's where the evidence leads. That life as we know it is, under the current laws of physics, could happen on at least one planet, and we are at the very least at one planet. How do you explain consciousness from an agnostic atheist perspective? As an emergent property of a working brain. When your brain works a certain way, has the right neurons too, but neurotransmitters, hormones, all the lobes and parts and everything are right where they need to be, or have formed naturally and well, naturally, but yeah, formed correctly is what I was looking for. Formed correctly, then you're going to have a working brain. An emergent property of that brain working that way is that you will be conscious. It's really honestly annoying how most people believe in ghosts. It's an interesting one. I say even the most. I try to give grace to like even the most reality oriented or grounded people can still be legitimately tricked by their senses. So I mean, I try to give grace, but yeah, it can. It's a little out there. Have you watched Invincible? I've only seen the first season. I got to watch seasons 2 and 3. God's actually real. What made you think he's fake? The lack of evidence for God being real is what made me think he's fake. The fact that his intentions seem more in line with like humans wanting control rather than like an omni property God and how he would run a universe is what made me think it's fake. Why would an atom appear out of nowhere and create the universe? Why would there be fully formed sentient being existing outside of our reality before it was created? Yeah, that's before that's before, if we even get that far. It's like good question, but I don't know. As long as we understand what the Big Bang is first, then we can start talking about whether or not snakes talk and donkeys can talk. You can't say something that's fake when you see Commune. What's Commune? Like a documentary of some sort? Or did you talk about it before and I missed it? I don't know. Apparently, most people believe in ghosts, but most people not accept ghosts as the answer to any important question. Yeah, it's very true. Do you only believe what you see? No, I don't believe just what I can see. I believe what can be seen, what can be felt, what can be sensed, and also what can be logically substantiated. Like, what's something I can't see but you can logically substantiate? Oh, love, love. We can start with that. You know, um, Aram Komodo, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. You'll have to turn on your you have to make your subscriptions public, dude, when you subscribe to me. You don't have to, obviously, but I want to thank more of y'all for subscribing. I see I got a lot of new subs off the stream, but I feel guilty with you guys subbing and me not thanking you for it. So I don't know. Just turn your stuff on so Streamlabs can pick it up. Air is real, but you can't see it. Yeah, I'm like using air because you technically can see it if it's cold enough, but I mean like something like a phenomenon like love or logic or something. It's just like something we can otherwise account for logically without having to see it. God doesn't even meet that logical standard though. LOL keeps skipping, but you're afraid to see the other side. J Shag, there's 108 people in here, you fucking narcissist. If you see 100 other people in here and think I'm intentionally skipping you, then I mean you're so self-centered. Like, oops, I know you have 100 other people to talk to, but you're not responding to me instead of giving out fleshed out answers to everybody else's question. Well, you're just afraid to see the other side. Like, fucking die already. Have you read LSD, My Problem Child by Albert Hoffman? No, I haven't read it. I haven't heard of it, honestly. I know Albert Hoffman. I know about the whole him synthesizing LSD, but didn't know he made a book about it. Haven't read it. Why don't you be a Muslim? Because fuck that. It's why I won't be a Muslim. Even love can be traced to chemical reactions in the brain. Yeah, you can even like if you take apart a brain and know where to detect these things, that you could pick apart the little ones responsible for love, like dopamine, serotonin, vasopressin, norepinephrine, all that good stuff, oxytocin. Or do you only believe things when supported with evidence? Yeah, with any sort of evidence, like physical evidence or logical evidence works for me. Takes way more faith to be an atheist. I mean, I don't know what you want me to do with that. I'm not going to sit here and debate you about, oh no, actually I don't have faith. Please don't say that. Let me talk about not having faith, I guess, right? Just I don't know what you want me to do with that. Did the priest touch you? No, the priest did not touch me. I'm proud to say I was not hurt or traumatized by anyone in the church. It was solely the logical reasons that got me out of the church. So that being said, if anybody was touched by a priest or, had any sort of traumas related to people in the church and you left because of it, 100% valid, and don't let these weird fucks try to tell you otherwise. There's no who to the question of creation. Religious people have the wrong premise to begin with. Yeah, they start from like this idea that they front loaded with who created everything, and I don't know what to say at that point. Like your mom, I guess. A string of different sciences, physics and chemistry and biology is what created everything. Yeah, or things that can be explained using these fields for sure. At this point, I think it's just rage bait. If you think it's rage bait, I'm gonna do you one better. I'm gonna time you out for the rest of the stream. I'm gonna put you in timeout and go ahead and send you out of here real quick, so you're not enraged. You know, if you think this is rage bait, you're feeling that much emotion, and you're that invested, then I'll go ahead and get you out. Nothing wrong with that, but not the place for you. Uh, Well, I believe something you have no evidence against as it comes to faith and comes to making an inquiry, a question of God's existence, which is being asked by atheists more than theists. Why believe something you have no evidence against? Well, like, wait, why believe something I have no evidence against? What's that even mean? Maybe I'm just very high right now, but I feel like that's a straightforward question that I'm just looking too much into. Why believe something you have no evidence against? Oh, because that's not how evidentiary standards work. It's not that you need like, oh, I'm going to make an unfalsifiable claim, and now you have to believe in a thing. You have to actually show evidence for the thing, right? It's like I can just claim there's a fucking, I don't know, a teapot rotating around my house at constant intervals, just on its own in the air, supported by nothing, just randomly rotating around my house. It's not up to you to say, oh, it's not up to me to say, oh, believe in the thing because I said the thing, and you can't disprove it because you're not about to fly out to Michigan to prove me wrong or not. It's up to me to say, it's up to me to give evidence for the thing I'm claiming. You know, I probably marred the hell out of that. I really got to get some sleep soon, but whatever. If God is real, then what do you think he was created? When do you think he was created and who created him? To all the people saying how the atom/world created itself and what did he do before he created people? Good question. You know, since everything needs to have a creator, everything that exists needs a creator. God exists. Who created God? Why did they create God? When did they create God? Can I have a more specific meaning by evolution TL? What do you mean TL? Religion itself changed humanity, embraced logic and common sense. Yeah, we'd be a lot better off if we just dumped all this religious hullabaloo. I could have swore I answered you earlier. What do you mean by evidence exactly? This is an important thing to establish. Physical, you never find a floating straw man in the sky. It's a non-starter. Yeah, that's why I didn't say physical. I don't know if you were, I mean, you were here for at least earlier. I don't know if you just scrolled back in, but I said logical substantiation works as well for evidence. You know, it's prove something. It is the case and cannot possibly be any other way using logic, and that'll work too. But if you want to pretend, oh, I won't see a god in the sky just out of nowhere, then I mean, you just misrepresent my position, and you should probably take a nap. Why is nothing but there is nothing in space? We survive natural selection. Our species changed over time to become human. Oh, this is. Oh, you're talking to somebody else. Yeah, this is absolutely correct. That floating straw man is your own perception of what's in the sky. Oh, you're talking to somebody else. My bad. There are more things that have lived/died than have ever been alive at once. If ghosts are real, why we would be swimming through them? It wouldn't even be a question. Yeah, there's been like just off of humans over like 100 billion people that have ever lived. I mean, that's just on the low end. That's not talking all the other 99% of species that have ever existed. Um, whether the ones you believe have a soul, at least we would just be inundated with ghosts. You're adopted. What's up? How you doing? Why'd you stop believing? A lack of evidence is why I stopped believing. I looked for evidence of God being real, found none of it convincing, and that's why I left. You never had a relationship with Jesus, never received the God's free gift of the Holy Spirit within your heart. Yeah, I mean, show me why the Holy Spirit is anything less than like a plot device, and I'll believe you. And show me that Jesus is still alive, and I'll believe you. But if you want to just like try to invalidate or dismiss my beliefs based off of like based off of me not sharing your beliefs anymore, then I mean, you can fuck off. For something to start, there has to be a starter. Explain how. I mean, if you, by that logic, you believe that God's always existed, and then, well, that God needed a start. I'm getting ahead of myself. No, you were just going to say, oh, God always existed. Sure. And I'll be like, okay, fine. The universe has always existed, but show me why the universe hasn't always existed. Show me that the Big Bang is the definitive start of the universe itself. Because, spoiler alert, even scientists aren't claiming that. So I don't know what to tell you. I really got to get some sleep. I'm talking over myself. Why don't we talk about logical perspectives? You're the one talking about physical items. Some people mention evidence. What logical evidence are you looking for? What do you mean? What logical evidence am I looking for? What the fuck's that even mean, dude? Logical evidence? Evidence that shows logical evidence that shows the thing is true? Like, huh? Like, I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone saying, like, huh? What logical evidence are you looking for? Logical evidence, evidence that shows it to be true logically. Like, I would hope that's self evident. Like, huh? Like, am I in the Twilight Zone? Am I in the sunken place or some shit? What the fuck's going on? What logical evidence are you looking for? Something that meets the evidentiary standard that's logical in nature. Like, huh? Atheist means no religion, right? Somebody who doesn't believe in God. That's all it is. Lack of belief in a God or gods. Did you find comfort in God before and not anymore? Or what did you find comfort in now? Yeah, I used to find comfort in God when I was a Christian. Absolutely, I did. But right now, I find comfort in the people, uh, that are in my life. You guys, for better or for worse. I like doing this. I really enjoy doing this. Um, you know, talking about these things, pondering about these things. Um, yeah, a lot of different things I find comfort in. The blind watchmaker argument is overused. We know that watches require makers because we can separate natural and artificial things. Yeah, until you can show me like what an undesigned universe looks like, I mean, the argument just fails right on its face. A lot of atheists turn man into little gods. What do you mean by that? What made you turn from Christ? Just curious. Went atheist to Christian. No judgment. No, you're fine. I'll get somebody else into. Zero arrives. If I'm reading that correctly, would cause you to not believe in God. And then Solo Lemon also says, while you leave Christ, I'll answer all three of you at once. So I left my faith after about a year and a half of deconstruction. Oh goodness. And deconstruction is just critically thinking about why you believe what you believe and interrogating your faith, taking it apart layer by layer, piece by piece, checking to see if you find any veracity in the claims of the faith. And ultimately, for me, after about a year and a half of that process, I just came to the conclusion that I don't believe in anything supernatural or divine. So you can do anything you want every day, like drink alcohol, eat pork, and all if you're atheist. I mean, um, there's no supernatural being or force telling me that I can't, right? So in that regard, sure. I just wouldn't recommend you eating pork and drinking alcohol every day. That seems like it would be bad on your heart. If God is real and I meet him, I'd be asking why he didn't prove himself when he knows that I follow evidence, and then I would ask why he's allowing so many evil acts, why is he letting people starve? Yeah, if I could get one, people ask me a lot, like to try to fearmonger. Oh, when you're standing in front of God, what are you gonna say? I'll ask him one question: why did you make it so hard to believe? Because if you hide yourself, make the world in a way that you aren't evident by your nature. You make so much evil, but you claim to be good. Um, you allow for people to have these other faiths and other religions that have just as much evidence as yours does. You're making it hard to believe. Why did you make it so hard to believe? That's what I would ask him. Uh, why is Stan Lee the one above all? I miss Stan Lee. Let's get an R.I.P. Stan Lee. I miss him. You say logical evidence. So I was looking for a particular, so it's a very broad statement. I'll say we intuit an objective moral code in our world is intelligible and pattern. There we go. Sorry if I was rude, but I hear so often, what evidence are you looking for? What kind of evidence? Or even worse, when I say, like, when somebody says, why'd you stop believing? I say lack of evidence. I say, what do you mean lack of evidence? Like, what lack of evidence? It's like, how do I explain a lack of something, With logical evidence, it would have to be like what you just tried to present, which are logical arguments, or like logical arguments that lead you to the conclusion that a God exists. That's what I mean by logical evidence, but I'll break it down really quickly. Um, if I don't believe in an objective moral code or even like an absolute moral code. I think that things are morally permissible, morally bad, or absolutely bad or good to us as individuals because of our empathy that we've evolved so we can better get along with each other. Things like our life circumstances, our social expectations, our cultural expectations, our parental upbringing, our religious beliefs. I think all these things shape your morality. And if we're talking like intelligible and patterned, I mean, I don't know what like an unpatterned universe looks like or an unintelligible universe looks like. So if there's no extra point of comparison, I'm not seeing how we can definitively say that ours is intelligible and patterned. Good morning, Hugh. I went to bed. You were live. I wake up. You're still live. How you doing, James? Good to see you. It's I'm just I'm doing the big one today. It's the day before my birthday, so I felt like yapping a lot more. Just get some more yap out of my system. What do you think of the Shroud of Turin and Eucharistic miracles and the wounds of Christ has appeared in Saint Padre? I'm not sure what the Saint Padre thing is. I'm not sure what the Eucharistic miracles are. I can't remember them off the top of my head. Shroud of Turin's been debunked like a bunch of times over. There's the fact that he used herringbone weave instead of plain weave, which was inconsistent with the time period. Red ochre was found on it, and the pigment showing that, which is a paint pigment instead of like something that you'll find in blood. People argue it was from the fire, but it's not like the type of iron oxide that you would find in the fire. Well, find as a result of the fire. It's obviously the carbon dating from 3 different sources showing it to come back to the 1300s. There was, what else was there? What else was there? What else was there? Oh, the fact that the figure on the shroud was, it's not stretched out. The proportions aren't stretched out in a way that would be consistent with the shroud being laid over somebody, but rather like it being painted on from a photograph of some sort, of like not a photograph necessarily, but from copied down or drawn on, basically. Like if it were laid over a 3-dimensional person, and then like especially when I was bleeding as bad as Jesus was, and then taken off of him, then their face would be more laterally flexed than it was on the on that. There's the fact that the features of the person on the shroud were Eurocentric when Jesus was from Judea, which doesn't make sense. There's a bunch of different things debunking the shroud, dude. Let's see what we got here. Good luck in hell. As long as it keeps me away from people like you, I'll take it with my head held high. Everyone, if he's an atheist, don't convince him to go back to Jesus. It's fine. That's what their religion tells them to do. And I knew what I was getting myself into when I started this, so it's in and of itself, I don't mind it. It's just when people get like intellectually dishonest or like antagonistic that I start to nut up a little bit. We'll see y'all's opinions on Islam. I don't have a positive opinion on Islam, honestly. I've read the Quran once, and it's not for me. It's got, besides like the couple contradictions you'll find in there, it paints a narrative of a really sick fuck of a god, and that's just it's not my bag. Also, the fact that it makes supernatural claims that it can substantiate too. Like, I mean, this is more so the hadiths, but the moon splitting. Also, well, within the Quran, the ant talking to Solomon, the birds talking in the hadiths, the winged horse. Yeah, it's just not for me. Be honest. Do you think these people who keep asking questions about if there's a God when I've debunked everything by science and physics? Wait, is that a complete sentence? Be honest. Do you think these people who keep asking questions about if there's a God when I've debunked everything by science and physics? Finish the sentence. I'm not seeing like the end of the sentence there. Like, what do I think about them? You should put your leaving a face story on screen so people don't have to keep asking. I really should, but I'm too lazy to right now. I don't want to. It's kind of it's a whole process to get it onto my Streamlabs. What do you think that isn't really right for you in Islam? The moral implications, the contradictory claims about certain things within the Quran, like for example, what Allah created us from, and also the just the fact that there's no evidence for its supernatural claims. Same with Christianity. I completely respect your decision on being an atheist because everyone has their own beliefs. Don't let others judge you or look at you a different way. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you I'm glad for your respect. Thank you. If you don't think this world is evil and horrible with free will, Emma, didn't you say good luck in hell? Who's the evil one here? Einstein was Jewish. He didn't believe Jesus was the son of God. Big dog. Einstein was like I wouldn't say believer, but he more so just like assigned the word God to like the processes of the universe itself, like borderline pantheistic, but it's called like Spinoza's God that he believed in or claimed. So that's in line with atheism in and of itself, but because he didn't believe there was like some sort of like Spinoza's God doesn't posit some sort of like mind that created everything. So I don't know. Cool guy just earned a sub. Thank you, I appreciate it. Shut your chicken bone dome gnome Google Chrome ad. I used to love Pat God. It's yeah, but you know I grew up a little bit. On a morality standpoint, I hope people understand it. It's non-physically damaging essay, a culturally fashioned immoral act, and should it not be punished so severely because the moral claim is arbitrary? I think it should be punished, absolutely, but I'm the one saying that it should be punished. Ask somebody who does that to people if they think it should be punished. Probably not. You know, do we have a strong, horrifically wide moral disagreement? Absolutely. Can we demonstrate which one is objectively correct about it, objectively wrong about it? No. And why I really don't accept this argument as it relates to Christianity in particular, or Islam too, if you know, for different reasons, kind of the same reason, but because the God of the Bible condoned sexual assault, Deuteronomy 22, 28, and 29. You know, instead of just outright saying, "Hey, don't rape people," he says, "Oh, if you rape an unmarried virgin, then you just got to pay her father 50 shekels of silver, and you got a wife forever." So I'm not seeing the logical congruency with the idea that God made me to morally disagree with him. Is science the one that makes you not believe in God? No, because like when I was a believer, my justification was that science is true and like the claims of science are true. It's just that God set all these things into motion. But um, now, I mean, partially, but just the lack of evidence more so. Just the history, the archaeology, the theology, the biology, the physics is all of it together. Also, the fact that the evidential issues too. Jeldy Gaming, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate you. Thank you. Is this thing live? Yes, live. Okay, there we go. The cruelty against people who don't believe in is what takes me off. Yeah, it's I just wish we could be more compassionate to one another, but I mean this is war, so fuck it. Uh kind of hard to not see Christianity as a blood cult when one of their main rituals is eating the flesh and drinking the blood of their savior. Yeah, exactly. I was thinking this on Easter recently. It's just like you know, we were celebrating the resurrection. It was 2 days after quote unquote Good Friday when a dude got flogged and beaten and humiliated and crucified and put to death. It's like, huh? We're celebrating this? This is a good thing? Why? I mean, maybe Good Friday's ironic or like I don't understand the history behind the term, but it's like that's weird. What sins that God says that our sins don't make? What sins that God says our sins don't make sense to you? The whole eating pork thing, that's weird. Um, you know, the shellfish thing, or at least like the fish that he outlined would exclude a shellfish, so like that's weird. The wearing mixed fabrics is kind of weird. Not worshiping idols or like bowing down to idols is kind of weird. There's a lot of different things, honestly. To be completely fair, a lot of the more weirder ones like masturbation and shit, it's like that's kind of like I think is that biblical? I don't know, but I can't remember it, so I'll just give benefit of the doubt and say it's like extra biblical or post biblical. I want to speak on the Deuteronomy rebuttal, but I'm running out of time. Maybe I can catch you on Discord for a good discussion sometime. Cheers. Yeah, by all means, join my Discord. I'll see you in there. You know, we could talk about it extra. Just be over 18. Just be over 18. I don't want to have a server where adults are exposed to kids. That seems highly irresponsible to me. What's up, Khan? How you doing today? Finally someone said my name correctly. Yeah, I got you. Got you, Jeldy. Also, what's? Oh yeah, there we go. Unchained, try to go to church just one more time, but now make a difference. Try to talk to a pastor or something. Try to join the community too. There's a lot of atheists came back to Christ. Oh no, thank you. You know, fun story. I go to church twice a year. Not for I won't say my own volition, but of my own. Not for my own purposes. I go to accompany somebody, but in the most recent time, those two times are Christmas and Easter, and Easter was just this Sunday. So it's just a few days ago I went to church. And, am I going to talk to a pastor about something and let them lie in my face about what the Bible says and, try to preach at me just to come back to a religion so you find it satisfactory? That's just not going to happen. Just not going to happen, dude. Feel bad for you, dude. The people here aren't respecting your decision. No, it's completely fine, dude. You don't have to feel bad for me, honestly. I've been talking to Christians for 10 years. Every single year, my deconstruction. A lot more now that I make content around it, but yeah, I've been talking to them for a while. I'm used to it. You're good, man. What the hell is this mean? Huh? Ben Miller, you mind speaking English? Tis pimo sim ickle just siba? What the fuck does that even mean? Anyway. Wonder where we're gonna go if we're dead. I mean, besides like in the ground or in an oven and then like in an urn, I think you just cease to exist. Like your ability to experience things altogether just dies with you. Yeah, it's Good Friday because it's the day man is reconciled to the Father after fall of man through the sacrifice of the spotless lamb. Okay, thanks for that. Appreciate it. So yeah, blood cult. We're celebrating human sacrifice. I think that's kind of weird. I think if some other like some other religion celebrated human sacrifice that wasn't as popular as Christianity, and people would look at these claims and be like, okay, well that's weird as fuck, but Christianity gets a pass for some odd reason. What denomination were you? I was Baptist until I was 16, or in Baptist churches until I was 16, and in an apostolic church until I was 18. Going to church twice a year, more than most. Yeah. And here's a fun story. I've read the Bible twice too, which is more than the average Christian reads it, or at least the average Christian that I talk to. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, you can ask something, Earth. Go for it. That's what I'm here for. Uh, you're not allowed to eat pork. I mean, that's why Jews don't eat pork. Is because it's mentioned in the Torah, the Old Testament of the Bible. It's I forget the exact wording of it, but pork was excluded from what was considered clean. So that's why Jews don't eat it. But Christians say they're under a new covenant, therefore they think they can eat it. But Jesus said not to do away with the old law in Matthew chapter 5. So I mean, take it up with them. Were you raised Christian or not? I was raised Christian. Yeah, I was raised as far back as I can remember until the day I left, which was when I was 19. If Christians actually read the Bible, most would no longer believe in it. That part. That's what started me deconstructing, funny enough. And so, yeah, the road to atheism is paved by well-read Bibles. Did you ever think about how Jesus sacrificed himself to pay himself the price he demanded? Yeah. Yeah, dude. The Baptist churches I grew up in were like really, really Trinitarian about it. They were like, Jesus is God, definitely God, not just an essence of God, not just part of God, not just the Son of God, but he is the physical manifestation of God on earth. So yeah, it was kind of weird that God put the tree in the garden, put two people in the garden, told them not to eat of the tree, put the snake in the garden. Knew they were going to eat the fruit if he made them the way that he made them, and then enacted a generational curse on them for eating that fruit, even though it says, and I think it's Isaiah, that son cannot pay for the sins of the father, and then like came down to earth and just like got flogged for something that he did. It's just that seems odd. For me, it makes a lot more sense that it's just like some made up bullshit to justify why people should believe in a religion and like why they shouldn't leave it, rather than something that makes any sort of sense whatsoever. What are your thoughts on chicken nuggets? I love chicken nuggets, dude. I'm a huge fan of chicken nuggets. Huge fan of chicken nuggets. Just want to say I'm also an atheist. You're on your third religion. I mean, technically, atheism isn't a religion, but I get where you're coming from. Welcome in. Which two were you beforehand? Do I ask anything? Yeah, ask anything you want to. Within reason. Don't ask me which way it curves. I know that seems like a joke, but you'd be surprised. I don't know, if you die, you only see darkness and nothing happens after that. Yeah, I'd go one step further, say you wouldn't see anything. It'd be like trying to see anything out of your elbow. You just can't do it. It's just the ability to experience things altogether dies. It's like before you were born, basically. You can't think about it because you didn't exist yet, and after you die, you won't be able. It'll be like that again because you don't exist anymore. I'm Malaysian. Are you American? I am American. Yeah. I want to visit Malaysia. I want to visit like maybe the Kuala Lumpur area for sure. And you know, not obviously like maybe Brunei and Singapore too, but I know those are sovereign. But yeah, welcome in, man. Good to see you. Do you do you believe people have souls? No, I don't believe in souls personally. I think it's just you, just your body working, your brain working, doing its thing. I think that's all there is to it. If there's no God, then why were we created? I mean, the sarcastic answer is that your parents had sex, and that's how you got here. Uh, Jesus took the sin of all mankind and went to hell for a few days. A small price to pay. Yeah, I've had worse hangovers than he's had. He got time off of being in, you know. Why do you reject the existence of God? I just don't see any evidence for the existence of God. Like an active rejection of it, it's a little strong, but I just don't see any evidence. If there wasn't universal, I'm guessing if there wasn't universe farting fairies, why is there a universe? What's up, Danley? How you doing? Try to wonder how was Adam and Eve created, the earth was created, and how were you created? All right, let me run these down one by one. Adam and Eve didn't exist. At least that's what evolutionary biology teaches us. Because speciation isn't something that happens with only two people at once. We can confirm we had a prior ancestor. Adam and Eve were claimed to be humans, so we know that's false. Even if that wasn't the case, there's only two of them. They wouldn't have had enough DNA to produce 1,500 different ethnicities of people, 8 billion people over almost only 6,000 years later. So we know they're not true. So, that's not, I don't have an answer for how Adam and Eve were created because Adam and Eve did not exist. What else did you say? The Earth was created via protoplanetary disks and accretion disks and gravity over the course of millions of years. And I was created because my parents had sex 29 years ago.
Happy birthday, Hugh. Go see Sinners in theaters, devilish face emoji.
I'm going to take that $29 and I'm going to do exactly that, dude. Thank you so much for the $29. Dude, I appreciate the hell out of that, James. Thank you, man. That's exactly what I'm going to do with it. Just because you told me to. You've now earmarked your tip. So, again, thank you so much. I'm going to take that $29 right to the cinema. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Get a big W for James. That's very generous. Big W. You've met God. You can help me meet him. That sounds kind of like a threat. What do I do with that? What do you think about the holy fire of Jerusalem? That's a reason. Holy fire of Jerusalem. What do I think about it? It's a fire in Jerusalem. I swear to be saying Earth is 6,000 years old. Yeah, it's so verifiably untrue. I don't know what to say. Again, James, I'm sorry, I can't get my mind off of it. Thank you so much for the $29, man. That's huge. Thank you, man. That was generous. I know what I'm going to see. If not today, probably. No, maybe not today, but if not tomorrow, then probably Friday. Also, what got me first thinking God isn't real is matter can be created or destroyed. Yeah, I don't know why people, like Christians in particular, keep bringing that up. It's like, if you say that matter can't be created or destroyed, then what makes you think it was created? You can say, oh, it's God created uncreatable matter or matter that can only be transformed. Like, sure, but prove that. And your proof is going to have to go outside of this argument. So I don't know why people say such a thing. I think it's ironic that some people claim that Christians speak like they're authoritarian instead of actually being virtuous. Oh yeah, man, it's a huge problem. I should show you my DMs too. People are really nasty, and not just authoritarian, but just outright nasty people. It's odd, really odd. You cannot claim there's no God unless you're all knowing. Luckily for you, I don't claim there's no God. I don't believe in the existence of a God, but it's not something that I feel is even knowable to begin with. So. If your response is you don't know everything, therefore you have to believe in my book with talking animals, then I'll just tell you to fuck off. Understand why you're an atheist, but there's proof God exists. If that was true, then there wouldn't be any atheists right now. God hypothesis would be as accepted as gravity is. God's special indestructible matter. Yeah, just let me create something I can't uncreate. Did I receive your tip? I did receive your tip, dude. Thank you so much for the $29, man. Appreciate the hell out of that, dude. That's generous. I'm gonna since you explicitly said to watch Sinners in that tip, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take that right to the cinema, watch Sinners. Yeah, good to go. Might even be able to grab some popcorn later. No. Thank you, man. Genuinely, thank you. Fucking Jeldy. What do you think of the Tilma of Juan Diego? It converted 9 million basically overnight. It's still on display in Mexico. Many studies have been done on it. I haven't heard of it. If we're talking about like Mexican conversion, I've chalked it up to the Inquisitions, though, not some sort of, not some random whatever it is that converted them over. Like, oh, I see the thing, and now I'm a Christian. It's like, no, I'm not seeing that. We're not gonna ignore the Inquisitions just like that. Jesus loves you, Rack. That's I don't know what you want me to do with that. Okay, cool. Thanks, appreciate it. Have a good rest of your night, Jeldy. Appreciate you being here. Math proves God is the universe's math or the brain of God. Basically, it's the it's. I'm not. Are you? If you're a Platonist, I mean, or like an idealist of some sort, that's fine, sure. But like, that's not proof of anything. Until we can show the tangibility of concepts like math and values and things, like just claiming these are things we access and that God has to be the reason that we can access these things or the thing, the source of these things. I mean, it's just unfounded. Whoever said read the Quran, he's an atheist, not a Satanist. Nice. They're saying we made from star farts. Once upon a time, a star farted and created the solar system and our own home planet. I mean, we could just like use unintentional words that we want to, and that's fine. But like, I don't know what you want me to do with that. Math does not prove God. No, math does not prove God. It's just like the transcendental argument. It's just like some unfounded pre-sub idealist garbage. Popularized most recently by Redeemed Zoomer. Why did you become an atheist? How did you become an atheist? That's lack of evidence. I looked for evidence of my beliefs being true and found none of it convincing. That's how I became an atheist. Do I believe nothing created everything? No, I think nothing is by definition impossible. I don't believe in nothing, and I don't think any atheist believes in nothing. Well, probably a few, honestly, but not any I've met so far. I'll say that much. What makes you think you were a Christian? I believe the things that Christians believe, which is that God existed, Jesus was the Son of God, he died for your sins, rose from the dead on 3 days. It's all that good stuff. I believed in that stuff. So, sorry, definitionally, I was a Christian. There's so much proof of Almighty God in the Quran. It's it's really hilarious to me. It's kind of hilarious at this point, but what's really fascinating when I was first deconstructing is like the guy who said that there's proof of the Almighty God in the Quran is obviously a Muslim, right? And his name is Nafisa Muhammad, which is a West Asian name. And so it's like, isn't it kind of ironic that the geography, like where you come from, dictates the truth of the religion that happens to be the most widespread among where you came from? Like, isn't that kind of odd? For me, it's not odd. Obviously, if religions are going to spread in certain regions, in Islam's case, because of bloodshed, but if they're going to spread in certain regions, then people are going to be practitioners of the beliefs. It's going to be ingrained in the culture, like, sure. But, it's kind of funny to me that they'll claim, like, oh, this is the one true book. This is true. And also, I so happen to be from this area of the world where it's the most widespread. It's like, that's odd to me. It's funny. Lord, forgive them. They know not what they are doing. Oh my God, I'm so scared. Oh goodness. Oh boy. Oh geez. Oh, I'm having a discussion about religion. Oh, I need to be forgiven. Oh no. Like, sheesh, dude. Why you're not able to super chat? I don't have enough subscribers or watch hours for super chats yet. I'm getting there though. I'm getting there. I think even after this stream, I might even Oh wait, if I go long enough, I'm not going this. I'm not going long enough to get to 500 subscribers. But after a couple streams, I'll have my 500 subscribers. After maybe, at the rate I'm going now, like maybe I don't know, 20 more streams, I'll have enough watch hours for to enable super chats and stuff. But yeah, we'll get there. Just, sub up, subscribe, turn on notifications, watch the streams, keep them on in the background if you have to, or replay old streams. I don't fucking know at this point, but we'll get there. We'll get there. I'm not that hard pressed for it. May you be guided and peace be upon you. I mean, it's on its face. That's a nice thing to wish to somebody. So thanks. Nothing is a concept that we can never truly comprehend in the same way how you can truly imagine everything. Yeah, it's by definition, it's not going to be like your mere thoughts themselves are going to have to conceive of something. So, if for no other reason than from the fact that your thought is something, it's your brain firing. That's a something. So, no, we're not going to conceive nothing. I don't know why people keep claiming that we came from nothing, or I don't know. I can help you meet the outsider, can guarantee you passage through the void. How so? Guys, the revolution started in Africa, so we were all dark at one point as we lost our hair on our body. Then we moved away from the equator, so our skin got lighter. Then we crossed into an ice path to the Americas. Before we started in Africa, we were in the ocean. These are all 100% true facts that science has verified. Love to see it. What if it was Judgment Day? What would you think would happen to you if you stay as an atheist, though? Depends on the God. If the God's a massive narcissist and piece of shit that cares about whether or not I believed in him rather than the life that I lived, then, he's going to do what he's going to do. But if he's actually a just God and he actually cares about your works rather than just what you believe in or what you're convinced of, then there's something else coming my way. So it just depends on the God and how big of a douchebag they are. Do I believe in God? No, I don't believe in God, Andre. Andre? I don't know. People keep saying, "Why don't you read this holy book? It'll make you believe." My reading of those books made me disbelieve. Yeah, exactly. Like I've read the Bible twice. I've read the Quran once. I'm going to be reading the Book of Mormon soon. Then the Gita's afterward. I'm doing my due diligence, and trust me, God's not to be found at the bottom of any of these books. What do you think will happen when you die? I think you'll just cease to exist, honestly. I think your body's going to die and obviously decompose and rot away. And then your mind's going to die with it. It's going to, I think that your mind only works because your body works. So when your body stops working, by extension, your mind stops working. Greetings from Germany. Ooh, guten Tag. I can't speak German, but I was probably so fucked. But yeah, good to see you. Welcome in, Lex. Greetings. You're like, was it 5 or 6 hours ahead of me? I don't know. My mother died this morning in the hospital after a heart incident. Oh, I'm so sorry. I literally stood there and watched her eyes focus on something past me and her mouth moved like she was talking. 15 minutes later, she said she saw... Wait. 15 minutes later, she said she saw Jesus. Last thing she said. Yeah, I will firstly sorry for your loss. Sincerely, I do. Yes, that's unfortunate. I'm sorry. That being said, as people claim to see multiple different things when they die. Some people see family. Some people claim to see Jesus or God. Some people claim to see Muhammad or Allah, or some representation of him. People from India so happen to see the Hindu gods, or are more predisposed to seeing the Hindu gods, or report and seeing the Hindu gods. So for me, it makes a lot more sense that people hallucinate near death, things that they're already familiar with, rather than that all these things are true. So you have as much faith as a religious person? No. Unless you want to redefine faith in some weird way. Then you can define it however you want to. But if we go by actual established definitions of words, then no. When I die, I hope I see Hawaiian rolls. I hope I see like a big, giant, massive Detroit-style pizza with bacon and jalapenos. That sounds delicious. The tilma is where we get the classic Mexican image of the Virgin Mary. Been proven that it would have been impossible for people at the time to produce, and the tilma should have been decomposed. But no, I'll look into it. But I mean, if literally every other piece of evidence for God doesn't work out, I'm gonna obviously go in thinking it's just some bullshit too. Since you don't believe in a soul, do you think it feels so sad to think you'll just cease to exist, like nothing, absolutely after, absolutely nothing? Um, I wouldn't say sad anymore, honestly. I think it's just a fact of reality. I think it would be more preferable if I got to see the people I love after I die. I think that would be pretty chill, but I just don't think that's the case. So I'm not really tore up about it. It used to be absolutely, but not anymore. Does it say you can't have sex till you marry? Animals can't marry. Also, there was a time when marrying didn't exist. They're all true. Yeah, it does condemn premarital sex in the Bible in the book of, I want to say it's Deuteronomy. Faith is belief. You have plenty of blind faith. Denying your faith won't make it go away. I mean, dude. If you just want to like stand back to like some sort of intellectually dishonest like repackaging of words so that you can try to make some weird point that's not going to add to the conversation, I mean, you could just fuck off at that point. Explain miracles like healing, creating, and cursing in the Bible as proof and evidence for it. By all means, show it. See here. This guy, nothing any of us say will change his mind. Only the way that will happen is when he has that moment in his life where something happens you can't deny. Sure, you can say that. At that point, just the conversation ends, right? The Lord is real, prove it. Jesus is real, prove it. What made you convert? Lack of evidence is why I converted from Christianity. Looked for the evidence sucked, and so that's why I left. Sorry, give me a quick second. Let me check something real quick. Parents try to force me to be Christian. They deny every fact I tell them. Yeah, been there, done that, man. And it's not even like I try to take anyone from their faith or try to, well, necessarily, but try to go on the offensive with my lack of belief. But yeah, the fact that people just find it impossible to see things from the other side is just unfortunate. What am I looking for? What am I looking for? Okay, we are up. We are up. Hell yeah. Love it, love it, love it. Lack of evidence made you convert. What evidence convinced you that nothing created the universe? Okay, here's what I'm gonna do with you, son of Cole. I don't know. I'm done giving attention to asinine questions and intellectually dishonest points. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm only going to answer your questions or statements from here on out. I'm only going to give you attention once you ask something that makes some sort of sense. If I say nothing created everything and you ask me why do I think nothing created everything, that would be valid. But if I didn't say that and you ask me that, then you're making shit up. If you want to repackage like my lack of belief in God with being the same faith as it takes to believe in a book with talking animals, I mean, that's your prerogative, but I'm not going to answer that. So ask intellectually honest things, I'll be happy to have this conversation. But if you're just gonna keep saying retarded shit, then I don't know what to tell you. In the Bible, marriage is a consensual, intimate, and sexual relationship between a man and a woman. Premarital sex is sex without any emotional bond. Yeah. What do you think about clouds? Are they light or heavy? I think they're quite heavy actually. I think they're like it's when you have that much water, like it is water vapor, honestly. I mean, obviously, but there's still a lot of water vapor, and if you condensed it, it would be a really, really heavy piece of water. So, I don't know. What do you think? Oh, already read that. What created the universe? There we go. I think that the universe has always existed, personally. I think before the Big Bang, whatever caused it to expand has always existed. I think that would just be the universe itself. It's in an eternal cycle of expansion and contraction, thanks to dark energy and gravity, but that's my guess if I had to take one. Watch Neon Genesis Evangelion. I watched like maybe 10 episodes of it when I was younger, and that shit was upsetting. So no, I'm a pussy. It's true because it's in the Bible. That's so stupid. Indeed, it is. It really is. Why do you choose to stream this? I love this question so much. I'm not being sarcastic. I really love it because I like talking about it. But I feel like people don't understand atheists enough. And so I want to bridge that gap a little bit. I feel like when we're having a world that's becoming increasingly more divisive, the best way to kind of bridge that gap and make people a little bit more, maybe not compassionate, but more understanding and more willing to honestly listen is to actually understand the people that they're talking to. So I do it partially for that. I do it to encourage critical thinking. I do it to, have a laugh, kill some time. Yeah, I do it for a few reasons. You American? I am American. I'm from Michigan. Go Wolverines, Spartans. I don't know. I don't know which one is which. How are you right now? I'm doing all right. How are you doing, Tashira? How's your day going? The Quran says 1,400 years ago, an average cloud is very heavy. It's about 500 tons. Google it. Okay, the Quran says things that are both true and untrue. Richard Dawkins said that nothing created everything. Assume you follow the latest ideas from the latest experts. Well, thank you for actually asking me what I believe instead of just assuming it. But no, if Richard Dawkins actually said such a thing, then I disagree with Richard Dawkins. Personally, as an atheist, it kind of sucks that the magic of life has disappeared. Not that life isn't amazing, but it would actually be amazing to be proven wrong about being an atheist. I think it can be. In some ways, I think the magic of life is gone. Like this idea that there's something invisible just up there watching you, and that's actually with you and everywhere, and that once upon a time there was a resurrection and a talking snake and all these different things. I feel like it's really fun to believe in. From the outside looking in, I just don't see the truth behind it. Do you believe there's air? Yeah, not only do I believe there's air, but recently in Michigan it was pretty cold and I could go outside and I could literally see the air if I breathed. So yeah, not only do I believe there's air, I know there's air because there's sufficient evidence for it. Not just sufficient logical evidence for it, but sufficient physical evidence for it. Tim Hall, thank you for subscribing to the YouTube. I say the YouTube. I'm only live on YouTube right now. TikTok got suspended, but appreciate you being here. Thank you. So I think we evolved from a fish, a monkey. We share a common ancestor with monkeys. We didn't evolve from them. We evolved from a common ancestor. Like genetically speaking, they're like our cousins. They're not our fathers or anything. But yeah, we evolved from things that used to swim in the ocean. That's just what evolutionary biology can prove. Theravada Buddhism is fun, community building, but isn't angry like the Judeo-Christians are. Yeah, every Buddhist I've met has been nothing short of just awesome people, except for the one that stole my. Well, he didn't steal anything from me. She wasn't mine. Like people aren't yours, but that I'm not even going into. I'm not going to trauma. But she anyway. Beside the point. Yeah, I've met plenty of pretty awesome Buddhists doing this for sure. But my only issue with Buddhism is that they still make supernatural claims that they can't substantiate. So if it's between being with some chill guys and believing in the most correct thing, I'm going to choose the latter. You can't prove we've. Oh wait, no, never mind. He says something dishonest, so I'm gonna, ignore that. Low-key, I love your voice. Really nice audio to listen to in the background. Oh, I appreciate that, Dino John. Thank you. That's huge. Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate that. What are untrue things in the Quran? I can show some contradictions for sure. Well, firstly, ants don't talk. So the story of an ant talking to Solomon to warn him that can't be real. But let's go over some contradictions real quick. The Quran says in drum roll please 359 that we were created from dust, which is kind of backed up by 1161 saying we were created from earth, like the earth. And then in 1526 says we were created from burned clay, but that would burned clay wouldn't be sticky. But in 3711 it says that the clay we were made from was sticky. But then again, those both contradict with the idea that we were made by a drop of thick fluid, according to 16:4 and 75:37. But those contradict the idea that we were created from water in 2130, and those contradict the idea that we were created from a blood clot in 96:1 and 2. Now, you might be saying to yourself, okay, we were created from all of those things. It was just like the different stages of creation for Allah, or, it was a mixture of water and earth and clay and blood clot and, sticky fluid or whatever the fuck. But even if you go that route, that would contradict the idea that we were created from nothing, according to 1967. In 2176, it says that all of Noah's family survived the flood, but then in 1143, it says that the son drowned. it says in 572 and 385 that Christians will go to hell, but in 262 and 569 it says that they shall go to heaven. It says in 99:7 that God will not, will reward the deeds of unbelievers, but then it says in 9:17 that he won't. What else is there in the Quran? Salvation's for only Muslims according to 385, but it says it's for all pious theists according to 569. In 929 it says to fight all the non-believers, but then in 45:14 it says to do nothing and let them live. You could argue that Allah changed his mind, but it says also that Allah does not change. It says in 2:143 that God is the judge of humans, but then it says in 5 and 109 that Muhammad is. What else? See here. Can one bow to anyone but Allah? It says that Adam can in 234. It says that only Allah can in 22:18. But then it says that you can bow to the Kaaba and obviously literally the rest of Islam. I mean, that's just a few, dude. That's just scratching the surface. Wish you all the best. I'm out. Thank you for subscribing, Lex, and good to see you. And I wish you a great rest of your German day. What do you think happens after you die? I think you cease to exist after you die. I think that your mind dies with your body, and that's just kind of it for you. Buddhism has some great philosophy, and if you don't believe in the supernatural, yeah, I would agree. It's I just can't get over the supernatural stuff. I feel like once we get to a point where we can just like start picking and choosing from religious claims or religious sects, then I can. I mean, there's nothing saying you can't do that with every religion, but that's just not something I feel to be necessary in my life. I'm an atheist, but I live in a Christian home. What do I do? What do you do if you're an atheist living in a Christian home? I would say if you have genuinely believe that your shelter won't be put into question or that your relationships won't be put into question, that you should, at your, maybe not your earliest convenience, but when you feel the least anxious about it and feel the most confident about it, probably just come forward, especially if it's a devout Christian house. Just because like lying to yourself and lying to the people around you is going to eat at you. I would know. I've been there. The reasons that Christians of now are going to hell is because they're not following the current prophet, that is Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaikum. You assuming I'm a human. What I'm going to do to get it through, I'm superhuman. Probably the most entertaining, informational, and realistic thing I found on YouTube. Thank you. No, thank you sincerely. That is a really high order compliment, and I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm glad the stream is informational and entertaining, especially. I'm really low energy right now, so thank you so much. One who wrote the Quran may be suffering from intense mood swings. Yeah, Gabriel was just such a diva. There's God, but he doesn't care about humans. Oh, so you're like a deist of some sort? That would at least make explanatory sense of why there's evil and stuff, but I feel like at that point, you might as well just not believe in a God. Not speaking pragmatically, if you're just convinced what you're convinced by, for sure. But at that point, it's like, if we can't even get to giving evidence for this God that doesn't care, then, I mean, I personally don't even go as far as deism. Hey, a good day wasn't initially religious, but at some point, I was abandoned by my parents and I was dealing with bullying in school at the same time. I found comfort in religion, believing there is at least one person watching over me, but then I started developing religious OCD. Now that I'm in my mid-20s, I'm conflicted. I can give you 100 reasons why God exists and another 100 why he doesn't. Oh, man. I know somebody, I won't say I won't know somebody with, but I know with religious OCD, it can be like what I'm going to say next is, well, now let me read the rest of it. As someone who was a Christian, did you ever develop religious OCD, and how did you manage to get rid of the initial guilt? I would say I didn't really develop religious OCD. It was more so like, because it's not so much like I was really, really obsessive about it, but I took the facts head on. I looked at the facts head on. I tried my best to be intellectually honest as possible, and so when I walked away from religion, it was more so like I was being dragged away, like claws in the ground, like dirt under my fingernails. I'd say that was more so my experience. I didn't really mull over it all that often for too long, and so I can honestly say that wasn't my experience. Unfortunately, I can't empathize with you on it. Oh, yeah, I can empathize with you. I can't sympathize with you on it, to be honest. But how I got over the guilt was realizing that, like, religiously speaking, doctrinally speaking, the guilt was something that was preached, something that the people who wrote the book would want you to feel. It wouldn't be something that a good God would want you to feel. There shouldn't be guilt with the idea that you just question the evidence that he chose to present you or that they chose to present you. So that's how I got over the guilt. Really quickly, I'm sorry, Lucan, thank you for the follow, subscribing to the YouTube. I appreciate it. So that's how I really got over it. I'm realizing that, okay, I have nothing to be guilty for. I'm being honest with myself. Um, Taking the evidence as it's presented to me. I'm chewing over it as much as I can. I want to remain in this thing, but the evidence is proven otherwise, and I can't lie to myself. And so, if you're not lying to yourself, if you're not hurting anyone else, then there's nothing to really be guilty over. So, I'm extremely sorry that you're going through this tough time right now. Yeah, really, really, but and for whatever it's worth, though, there's nothing to be guilty for. Happy that you're happy with your beliefs right now. Best of luck to you. Now, best of luck to you. You got it. You'll crush it out there. You got it. What do you think the greatest scientists were religious? I'd say there were also plenty of great non-religious scientists. I'll go so far as to say that your religion has little to do with your ability to contribute to the field of science. The Georges Lemaitre, I think, was the one that not first posited an expanding universe, but that kind of laid the groundwork for the Big Bang with the primeval atom, for sure. But there were also people like Stephen Hawking, who made all his recent contributions to physics while being a very adamant atheist. So I don't think that religious beliefs are anything that you should, I don't believe that religious beliefs have any bearing on what you believe in, or like what you can contribute to science that you keep separate from it. Where do you think you came from? My parents, my mom's vagina is where I came from. They did a thing, and that's where I popped out of, and that's where everybody popped out of. Uh, how was the world made in your perspective? If you're talking the universe altogether, I think it's always existed. Um, I believe what expanded, like the universe, is an internal cycle of expansion and contraction. Operates by different laws of physics when it expands, and then operates by different laws when it contracts. That's at least where the evidence leads us, as far as like, it's not definitive, obviously, but with dark energy and its relation to gravity, that's, it seems pretty likely at this point. Um, if you're talking about the planet, I mean, accretion disks, protoplanetary disks, gravity. Shit, sorry. If you're talking about just like humans, abiogenesis and evolution, that's how I think they got there. Thebal Tispimo? What the fuck's that even mean? They were amazing minds. More were they religious? Seems more knowledge doesn't make you more atheistic. I mean, here's a fun. I mean, I'll even pull up the stats for you because first off, I'm gonna get you out of here. I just can't stand dishonest people. Have a good rest of your day. I appreciate you, but let me pull up some stats real quick. You just seem completely intent on dishonesty. I tried my best with you, but I'm gonna go ahead and get you on out of here. Let's see here. We got here Pew Research Center, 2017. Yeah, right here in the Pew Research Center, college graduates say religion is very important. 46% said yes. Some college, 53% say religion was important. High school or less, 58%. So, um, believing in God with absolute certainty. College graduates only like 55%, but then some college 65, the number jumps 66, right about the same for high school or less. So basically, the more educated you are, the more information you take in, at least in a collegiate setting, the less likely you are to be religious, and that's according to the Pew Research Center. Why do you not believe in God? It's lack of evidence is why I don't believe in a God. I looked at the evidence, and all of the evidence sucked. How were we born? Dad says, yeah. Mom says, Duke Dennis. Hell yeah. W Duke Dennis Risk Skibbity Toilet. Absolutely. I'm Alpha Wolf Giga Chat. What the fuck am I reading, man? I'm Nathan, the dimension theory, like 3D, 4D, 5D. Yeah, like mathematically, like for the sake of physics and theoretical physics, like mathematically the dimensions check out, but like realistically, it's just, do we have access to such things? Not really. So if somebody wanted to claim that God is just a 4-dimensional figure, that's sure, but it's just not enough meat on that bone for me to chew on. What we got here? What do you mean when you say evidence? Evidence is the something that shows that something is one way and not another way. That's what evidence means. That's the evidence for the idea that there's a keyboard on my desk is that there's a keyboard on my desk. You get me? So the evidence for something like the Big Bang would be showing things like redshift and cosmic background microwave radiation confirming the expansion of the universe. The evidence for something that, like a God, would be showing why intent is necessary in the creation of our universe, showing the supernatural claims to be true in the Bible or in any other religious any other religious holy book. That's what that would be. Evidence is evidence. It's what evidence is. I gotta get off here soon. I'll get off here. Let me get off. Get on out of here. But appreciate y'all. Appreciate it. Yeah. Take care. Have a good one. Love you. See you later. Oh yeah, I gotta chill for my shit. Subscribe. Make sure to subscribe really quickly if you haven't already. If you want to keep up with my streams and videos, follow my TikTok, both my main and backup. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, Kick, and Trovo. Join my Discord if you are over 18, not if you are under 18. Add me on Snapchat if you are over 18 and not under 18. If you want to support the stream, or if you want to send text to speech, you can either tip $1 on Streamlabs, or you can donate $1 or more to the Crisis text line using my Streamlabs charity link. What else? If you want to support the stream, PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, PayPal USD addresses. All of that is in my link on my channel.